Order, Lee Gaskin joining us for this first game, and we're going to ease into the second game a little bit later on. But welcome, lads.
Thanks so much. Yeah, really appreciate it. It's exciting times, isn't it, Lee? We're going to see some really good young talent out there today.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to today's game. Obviously, you get a look at a lot of the draft picks who came into the AFL system last year, and a few of the guys in their second season as well.
Yeah, it should be sensational. We're going to see some of those players that I think are exciting on both sides. For me, Norts, I'm really looking forward to seeing the likes of Sam Hayes for Port Adelaide today. So much talk about him in the ruck. Also, Kieran Strawn on the flip side. And just a couple of other players that today I think fans will really be looking forward to seeing. I think Trent Burgoyne is definitely one of those. Young Taj Schofield, a couple of sons of absolute legends at the Port Adelaide Footy Club. Jackson Mead also. And for the Crows, their number 2 pick, Riley Thilthorpe. I mean, to see him in action today is going to be super exciting.
Number 7 for Crows fans watching this stream. That's the one to look out for. Riley Thilthorpe, of course, and many others as well. There's Luke Pedler, number 10. Looking forward to seeing him, and Mitch Hinge and Sam Barry and Josh Worrell and Elliot Himmelberg as well, looking for a big game as well today. You spoke about father-sons. I tell you what, plenty on the Port Adelaide list as well. Owen Montgomery for Port Adelaide fans. Number 14, top-up player, son of Brett Montgomery, and Jake Wiedemann, number 16. Yep, Jake Wiedemann, the son of the great man, the Weed, Wayne Wiedemann.
Wow, there you go. What a player he was, number 33 for the Crows back in the day. So we're just about set to go here at Albertson Oval. Of course, this is the first game. We've got back-to-back games coming today. We've got the seniors, if you like, coming on after this one. But first up, it's the SANFL sides, if you like, from both teams taking each other on. And some really good talent. It's a beautiful day here in Adelaide. I think we're headed for a top of 28 degrees. Daniel Norton, Lee Gaskin and Tom Wren all set to call the action. And we're just about set to go here.
Port Adelaide in their silver Guernsey. This is an AFL non-selected game, so technically not an SANFL game. So they've got their silver Guernsey with the black shorts. Of course, the Crows, the away team here at Albertson this afternoon, all thanks to Balfours.
Okay, here we go. And a big thanks to Balfours. We've got Strawn in the ruck there, and young Hayes as well. And Hayes wins it down. Lovely tap. He gets it to May. So bit of rhyming action early on. Cam Sutcliffe, of course, former Fremantle player, goes a 1-2 with Garner, pokes it out to the outer side, and an easy chest mark taken. So Port looking to move the ball on quickly here. They come up the line. Mark not taken. Ball off hands. Goldsack. Plenty of AFL experience there. Comes in board. Frederick takes the mark. And the power should move through the middle of the ground. And 50, the old standing rule I think you'll find there. So Martin Frederick will be the recipient of the first standing infringement there. 50-metre penalty. We're 30 seconds into the game. So interesting. Frederick will go from about 55 metres out, too far to score for the young man. Goes in really sharply, well cut off there by the Crows' defence. Handball back in board towards that player in Ben Davis. Ben Davis goes wide. Frederick needs to stand under the ball, but well marked there by the Adelaide Crows. So right half back, kicks towards the Foss Williams stand. Thilthorpe is there, but well met there by Jake Piscini from Port Adelaide, and there'll be a boundary throw in right in front of that historic stand. So good ball movement early, Lee, by Port Adelaide, particularly in that first sort of 45 seconds.
Yeah, it certainly was, Nort. So I just want to pick up, let's see Ben Davis line up in defence for the Crows. We've seen him play largely as a half forward during his 3 or 4 seasons in Adelaide. So good to see him get a bit of a positional change this year.
Great stuff. Lee Gaskin, our chief AFL reporter.
Best in the business.
Unbelievable. Great bloke too. He's going to give all the analysis today. And just tell us who to look out for as we're watching this game today. Port Adelaide in the meantime going forward. Jackson Mead, good to see him getting involved. Oh, big jump and fly at the football there from Wiedemann. Couldn't take it. Ball comes up over the back now for the Crows. Getting it out there was Hinge. He goes long out towards the outer side just in front of us, and a good mark taken there by one of the top-up players in Oliver Clark. So Clark on the half-back flank goes into the middle of the ground. Cam Sutcliffe couldn't take it. Frederick been busy early. There's Garner doing nicely. Gets the handball out to Sarin, who goes long up the line, one of the top-up players again. Ball spills over the top. Probably could have taken it there, the big fella, but elected not to. Now a strong tackle, and that's coming on young Sarin again. Should be a ball up here, and that's how the umpire calls it. About 70 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal. They've done most of the attacking. Still no score early in this game.
Bright sunshine here at Albertson Oval. 3 minutes into the first quarter. Hayes gets it down to Mays. Mays over the top towards Mead. Mead tries to find Woodcock with the hands, but there'll be a secondary throw-in. In fact, the umpire is the last disposal rule in this. So they are doing the SANFL rule. No, they're not. So
maybe
the
by
umpire
foot.
did indicate that it was going to be a free kick, but now he's going to have the boundary thrown. Confusion reigns with the boundary umpire in front of us as he hoists it back into play. So Hayes locks horns, gets it down towards Mead. Mead wrestled to the ground. They're going to try and break free. Good tackle there by Mays. Well done by the Crows player, picking it up in heavy traffic. That was Berry. Ball moves forward towards centre wing. Piscini leads Thilthorpe in the race for the ball, and Joel Garner sees the ball over the line. So we're just working through a few things here, Lee, but it appears as though we've got AFL rules rather than the SANFL last touch.
It does look that way, Norts, and probably a good thing, obviously, given ahead of the AFL Community Series next weekend, and if players have to get selected in that, they'll be used to the rules they'll be playing in that game.
And there's Sarah Berry again. I want to touch on him. Nice mark taken again by Frederick, but Berry looking good as well early,
That's a good
fellas.
line there, Tommy. That's
yeah,
a good line.
He's going okay, and Frederick has also done a couple of nice things early in this game for Porters. They now come long towards the big fella there, one of the top-ups there in Benny Edwards. He couldn't take the mark. Instead, it's been taken over the back by Ace Taylor, who's one of the top-up players, Lee.
Yeah, pretty important game for Ace Taylor. Obviously still fighting to get a spot on the list up against Nick Murray, who's been given the call for the AFL side today.
Okay, so maybe just a little bit behind at the moment. Now, play-on's been called here. Kick over the top is a good one. And that came from a player who's been very good early in this game in Oliver Clark. So Clark doing very, very nicely. Now a shot on at goal from about 15 metres out. He runs around, opens up the angle, and that looks like it's pretty good. And Lockie Gollant, who is one of the AFL-listed players, kicks the opening goal of the game. So nice work there from the Crows. A bit against the run of play, but they get the first goal.
If you have a look at Lockie Gollant, he's put on about 13 kilos in the past 12 months. When he arrived at the club, he was I think it's about 70 or 72 kilos. So he's basically just been smashing 6 meals a day, smashing the protein shakes, and he's really looking like he's got a bit more of an AFL mature body right now.
No, I can relate to that. I put on 13 kilos in the last 6 months. So I can tell you what, through COVID, Lee, it's not that hard to do. But no, in all seriousness, good ball movement. I thought Port Adelaide were winning around the stoppages in that first 4 minutes. They seem to have those bigger bodies, Lee, but the Crows transitioned forward and, as Tommy pointed out, against the run of play, scored the first goal.
When you look at the two sides, so I think Port have got a few more experienced players out there, Norts. But yeah, I like that ball movement for the Crows, and they get off the first team on the board. So
Hayes and Strawn will lock horns again. Hayes jumps over the top, gets it down towards Mead. Mead shuffles it back towards Hayes. Hayes over the top towards Sutcliffe, wearing the number 1 Guernsey for Port Adelaide. Well done there, though, by Berry. Berry snaps around the body, leading towards the ball there is the Port Adelaide player across half-back, and he finds Sutcliffe, who goes short to Dylan Williams. So Dylan Williams, centre wing, left-footed, chips in board towards...
He's a neat player, isn't he?
Sam Mays, yeah. A lot of talent.
Yep.
One of those draftees from the season before draft, the 2019 draft. So goes long inside 50, big pack of players. Well done there by the Port Adelaide player front and centre. The Crows start to run it out, and you'll find that the young man there in Mitch Hinge, brother of Johnny Hinge, who was at Port Adelaide as a welfare consultant for many years. There goes Himmelberg, duck the head. Will he get a free kick? Umpire says play on. Handball over the top towards the Port Adelaide player in Strange. Strange goes inboard. Big pack of players. Well done there by Berry. He's got the ball on the string at the moment. Strawn, one step, only as far as Serene, and Arian Serene will take the mark for Port Adelaide, 60 metres out. A top-up player, plays for the Goodwood Saints in the Amateur League, so a lot of talent with this young man as well.
On the mark, and I know that's a big talking point for supporters who have vented a bit of outrage with other practice matches we've seen already in the AFL.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit of adjusting to, isn't it, Tommy? That was probably a fair call, that one. It looked like the Serene was just taking his kick, didn't really stray off the mark too much, so it'll just take the players a bit of time to adjust that new interpretation.
And that is if you move laterally, I think, or before the player's actually gone off the mark, then they're going to pay the 50 metres, so they're just going to be hot on that this year, it seems, the umpire. So Serene about 15 metres out, almost directly in front. The umpire does a bit of work, and he's unfortunately not converted. So the first score, though, for Port is a behind. The Crows, 1 straight goal, so they lead by 5 points, 7 minutes into this opening term.
I wonder whether that standing rule is going to be a little bit more challenging too for the contractor players who haven't been, around the system. They're training in amateur league clubs, and get it reinforced.
It's a good point,
because of course the amateur league wouldn't be playing with those rules at the moment. So big grab there by Himmelberg. Himmelberg down centre wing. Player there cut the ball off from Port Adelaide. I didn't pick up that play, but the ball spills free now to Garner. So Garner tries to take a tackle on. He's caught red hot holding the ball. Great tackle there by the Crows player. Centre field, big grab. Wonderful grab there by the young man in Bailey Marshman, the big Marsh man. So he goes inside 50. Big pack of players. Good grab again by the Crows forward. That's the man we wanted to see, Riley Thilthorpe. Pick number 2 at the draft, and
good grab.
Big set of hands. There were some question marks around why he was playing today, but you were saying, Lee, that it's a management thing by the Crows?
Yeah, that's right, North. He's had just some injury issues in the pre-season. I think just a bit of a soft tissue, some groin stuff there. So it's just been sort of managed his training loads. So good early signs, though. That's a great pack mark, and hopefully he can convert on the scoreboard with this one. He's
40 out. Riley Thilthorpe drop punt on its way. That goal umpire has not moved a muscle, so terrific start. A real confidence booster for the top pick in the draft last year for the Adelaide Crows, Riley Thilthorpe, and the Crows moved to 2 straight goals, 12, leading Port Adelaide 1.8.5 minutes into this first quarter. Remember, it's all thanks to our very good friends at Balfour's.
Really good start from Adelaide, and for Thilthorpe there, who I know a lot of Crows fans will be hoping to see a little bit in the senior side. Not playing in the second game today, so they're just easing him into it. But if he can take a few marks like that up forward and kick 2 or 3 goals, that'll do him the world of good.
Yeah, I'm also keen to see if he spends a little bit of time in the ruck today. Tommy, obviously, Kieran Strawn's the starting ruckman. We've got Elliot Himmelberg and Riley in the team, so I'm sure they'll give Kieran a chop out at some stage.
Lee Gaskin, Daniel Norton, Tom Wren with you all. Thanks to Balfour's here at Albertson Oval. Hope you're enjoying the coverage, as this time it's Strawn who gets a bit of a run and jump at it. The Crows, so starting to win the ball just around the contest, although they've coughed it up here. Ball spills out towards Sutcliffe now, who runs onto it. Of course, played some senior footy with the power. He goes inside 50, but coming to it there was Worrell, and now a left foot snap around the body coming from Williams. That's an outstanding finish.
That is electric, isn't it?
Dylan Williams, that is an absolute cracker. That's the goal of the day so far, no doubt about that. I've seen him play a few times before, and he's got loads of talent, and we're seeing a good example of it there. That's the first goal for Port. We get it 9.5 minutes in.
The matchup, but it looks like Williams has moved a bit higher up the ground now, so might be getting around the ball a little bit more. But to capitalise, what a finish that was on the left. That was sensational. It's a
super Saturday of football here at Albertson Oval. Stay with us on the streams right across the day. Of course, from 11:30 this morning, the senior game, Port Adelaide versus
Looking
the Crows.
Chris
Dittmar and Will Goodings will be bringing you that live here from Albertson Oval. Got to say, conditions are perfect too. Not a breath of wind, so no breeze favouring either end of the ground. So umpire puts the ball back down. Well done there by Strawn. That's got to be it's holding the ball. I thought he might have dropped it. And the free kick will go there to the Port Adelaide player who will pump it forward. So plays on, kicks inside 50, looking for and finding a very, very good lead. A strong mark there by
Wiedemann.
Wiedemann it is too. It's Wayne Wiedemann's son. Well, this is unbelievable. So kicks inside 50, lords the target. Big grab there, and that should be paid, and it is paid. And that's Big Strawn for the Crows, who's been rucking every minute of this first quarter, 12.5 minutes in. So Strawn kicks towards half-back, a long raking kick out to the outer side of the ground. Big pack of players. Umpire will say that's a free kick to the Crows, and Himmelberg will take the relieving free kick.
So Elliot Himmelberg, good to see him getting a bit of the football. I'm sure a few people, and maybe even he, a little bit shocked. Billy Frampton, though, chosen ahead of him today, but finding the footy here, goes up towards Thilthorpe, and just cutting it off there, taking a really good grab was Ollie Lord, one of the young draftees. Yeah, well, his grandfather, Brownlow medalist from Geelong, and came over with some really exciting raps on him. And very impressive young man. That's another good grab by Wiedemann over ball ace there. Wants to get on with the job quickly, runs around, takes his full measure. Good thumping kick inside 50. Looking for Sutcliffe there, who's going to get a run at it. Tries to hack it off the ground, couldn't get it much further than where it already was. Williams, who's already kicked one, gets the handball away to Mays, who throws it on the right boot, kick towards goal. He's just offline and through for one behind, but they're peppering here the power. They move along to 1-2-8. The Crows 2 straight goals. 4 points the margin. 12 minutes gone here at Albertson Oval. All thanks to Balfour's. Lee Gaskin, Daniel Norton, Tom Wren with you here today. I hope you're enjoying the coverage in the first of our 2 games between the Crows and Port Adelaide. If you just tuned in, so the Crows kicking towards the southern end, Port Adelaide towards the northern end. We're calling from
I guess you'd say the opposite side of the ground as to what you might be familiar with. So that's where the Foss Williams stand on the other side. So Lord's taken another good mark for Port Adelaide. Started well. Hospital kick to Mays, but Mays stood his ground well. Marks 55 out. He will now try and find Schofield now. He's got time. He's got space. He's going to have to think about this. Drop punt and he misses just to the near side. So he had a chance, steadied, but kicked a behind. So Port Adelaide moved to 139, trailing a very accurate Crows. 2 straight goals, 12. Lee, what are you seeing?
I think Wiedemann's been impressive, hasn't he? Couple of those marks has been fantastic.
Yeah.
So great to see a top-up player really take his chance.
That was a good call. He took a really nice mark on that outside there a little bit earlier. Here as the Crows look to go forward. They do so now. And a quick kick on the boot there from Bacanello, who gains about 25, 30 metres and now gets up towards the half-forward flank here for the Crows. They'll be happy to lock it in. They didn't have too much pressure there or presence in terms of bodies, and they do exactly that. So nice tackling work, and we'll get a ball up about 65 metres out from Adelaide's goal. As Nort said, they're kicking towards the southern end in this first quarter. Umpire tosses it up. Little tap over the top there was extremely clever by Lord again, who's been good. And a couple of nice things. Ball now goes towards the boundary line and out of play. And we'll get a throw in this time on the half-forward flank. It was Wiedemann again with ball ace. We'll keep an eye on that battle. I reckon Wiedemann definitely having the better of it so far. Early stages, though.
Is there not some irony there? Former Crows legend.
Yeah.
Instead of Wayne Wiedemann's son playing for Port Adelaide, and Darryl Borlase, of course,
who was
Port Adelaide Premiership captain, played over 200 games. His son James Borlase standing him. So Burgoyne goes forward, jams onto the boot. Up goes Wiedemann again. Ooh. Big pack of players. Well spoiled by Borlase. The ball squirts out the back towards the Crows player in Taylor. Taylor's wrapped up. There's arms and legs going in everywhere. In goes Mays. Mays over the football, trying to shovel it out. Gets as far as Serene. Serene tries to work it through. In the back, surely. Umpire says play on. Well done there by the Crows, and let's throw a blanket over it. No, umpire says free kick, and Berry will take the free kick for the Crows. So kick number 4 for Sam Berry. He's really starting to rack up the football early. He'll kick towards centre wing. Probably a little bit more central than he wanted. Big pack of players. Well done there by Himmelberg. He's in there. Also Frederick. The ball spills free. Squirts towards the wing position. Now there should be some time here for Strange. Port Adelaide fumble it, and then they open the door now for the Crows. So the Crows look to move forward, but the ball goes out of bounds, and there'll be a boundary throw in front of the scoreboard over there that reads Adelaide. 2 straight goals, 12. Port Adelaide 139.
And I think you hit the nail on the head, Lee. Wiedemann's been super impressive, but you called it Nords. Berry also very good for the Crows. Has got plenty of the football in this first term as the umpire tosses it back into play. Strawn, nice hands, gets it down. Tried to get it to his teammate there, but they couldn't go forward. And now a stack of bodies on top of this. Mays, though, gets the handball out. That was well done. Gets it on quickly there to Aldridge. And a good mark again taken by Wiedemann in front of Borlase, who couldn't have done much else, but Wiedemann's hands just again too good.
It's been terrific. Well, that was a really strong mark. Great pressure from Borlase, but Wiedemann just too good.
Got a nice size about him as well. He's not on the power list or any list, but looks like he can play a bit, the boy, as he goes long. Strawn has it all to himself and doing what a good ruckman should and takes the mark uncontested, just putting himself in the hole. He looks like he's bulked up just a fraction. And now Thilthorpe, he comes and has a run at the jump at the footy. In fact, it wasn't. It was one of their top-up players, Bailey Marshman.
How about the courage out from Wiedemann just to go back with the flight of the ball? Knew there were players coming, but just threw himself at it. Fantastic stuff.
So really good stuff there. Margin still 3 points. It's the Crows leading. 16 and a half minutes gone in this opening term.
Good signs for both teams in this first quarter. Boundary throw in. Hayes locks horns again with Strawn. Strawn tries to win it down. Woodcock's in there. Good tackle. Ball spills free to Berry. Berry will be dragged over the line. No, picks it up. Kicks on the left foot. Pack of players emerging. It's a 3-on-2 in favour of Port Adelaide. They should get the crumbs here, but well done, Himmelberg. Garner tries to wrap him up. Himmelberg shovels it forward, and the Crows are away again inside 50. Kick towards goal. Backpedaling as a Port Adelaide player trying to shuffle it over the line, and he does. Umpire says that'll be a free kick, and he has paid the free kick indeed.
Westbrook?
To Westbrook. So Westbrook will clear it deep in defence for Port Adelaide. Just goes short. And finds that player in Goldsack, of course, Collingwood Premiership player. First time we've really seen him suit up for Port Adelaide. Kicks towards the wing position. Up goes Williams, down goes Williams, and the ball goes over the line, courtesy of Taj Schofield. And there'll be another boundary throw-in. So a little bit stop-start at the moment, gents.
It is, isn't it? But gee, Tarek Newchurch, a nice pick-up, wasn't it? And then that kick on goal, he looks like he's got a bit of ability.
He certainly does. I also love the work of Elliot Himmelberg there to follow up on the ground.
Yeah, that's good. That's what they want to see, those second efforts from the big man. As Port here try to get the ball all along, and the umpire said that stayed in. So play on is the call. Boyd Woodcock now comes up, and the quick kick inside 50, one-on-one contest here. It's Wiedemann up against Borlase. Borlase this time takes it.
In the back,
could have been ridden in the back. The umpire said exactly that. Good call, Norts. And that's better from Borlase. He'll be happy with that. Good young man from Sturt, and what a name as well from the Port Adelaide Footy Club. His dad, a premiership captain with the Maggies. He goes short, and that kick's going to be okay. And they now look to move and transfer play. So they do so. It was Hinge who gives it off to Worrell, who now goes long, and the mark is taken by Newchurch. So Tarek Newchurch wants to get on with the job quickly, goes up the line looking for Gollant, who couldn't take the mark. He taps it to himself, and now taking the ball is Strange. He's tackled, and the ball goes over the boundary line, out of play, and we'll get a throw in. Still 3 points, the margin in favour of the Crows. 18.5 minutes gone in this opening term here at Albertson, all thanks to Balfours.
How good is it to have footy back, boys? How good is it to have it back? It is sensational to be here and be able to bring you this game. Daniel Norton and Tom Wren, Lee Gaskin with you from Albertson Oval, drawing to the closing stages of the first quarter. So that ball went out of bounds on the full. Port Adelaide player and Arian Serene, academy player, will take the free kick. He's going to have to jump the fence here into the bowling club. He's got the big Sprigs running right across the bowling green. Now, they won't be happy because
members will be loving that, North,
well,
won't they?
They've got their big premier event today. Bang, there we go. Another, more divots, another divot, and that's better. So there we go. So, well, it's things you have to do, Lee. Things you have to do when there's no people here.
It's community footy, isn't it? It's best.
It is. Look at that in front of the Pirate Life sign there. Great supporters of Port Adelaide. So in short to Frederick. Frederick got it across half-back, just looking to just sort of slow things up a little bit. To Burgoyne, good spoil there by the Crows player, forcing the turnover. And they're away again, the Crows. Well played there through Clark, handball over the top. Who's this? This is Newchurch again. Check side, skews it forward. Only goes as far as the Crows player. Handball over the top. Happy birthday. No, well done there by the Port Adelaide player in. Who stuck their hand in there? Is that Big Maze? It might have been Piscini. Well played there by the Port Adelaide defence. Yeah,
just rushed it through, didn't they? And ensured that Marshman didn't get the easy Joe the Goose over the top as Cam Sutcliffe is going to bring the ball back. And he goes route one, straight down the middle. He had the right intention, but Elliot Himmelberg read it really nicely. Gets on with it quickly, goes inside 50. Good effort there by Leanett. He just tapped it away. Now the ball comes over the back. Little step towards goal, dribbles about 15 metres. Strange gets the handball out. Leanett again. Handballs it back into Goldsack, who's happy just to rush it through for one behind.
His Tarek Newchurch has done a couple of nice things.
He has.
Pressure and the speed there to sort of get the ball into the forward 50. He looks like a real lively prospect.
So the Crows now by 5 points, 2-2-14. The power 139, almost 21 minutes gone. It's going to be Tyson Goldsack bringing the ball back into play.
He's going to be invaluable to the Port Adelaide side this year with his experience. Goes long towards half-back. Big pack of players. The Crows winning these 50-50 balls at the moment, and they punch it forward again through Davis. Davis, but a good mark there to the Port Adelaide defender in Leanett. So has been a really good player for Port Adelaide. When he gets his chances at AFL level, he's always on that fringe, though, Jared Leanett. Kicks towards half-back, looking for Hayes, couldn't find him, and the ball goes over the boundary line thanks to Mead, and there'll be a boundary throw in front of the bowling club.
Well, he's probably one, isn't he, Lee, who's going to have to wait for an opportunity now with Alir coming into the side. He's probably one that's going to have to work really hard to get a spot on the senior team.
That's right, Tommy. The depth in the Port backline, adding Alir, you got obviously Trent McKenzie had a fantastic season last year.
Yep.
Tommy Cleary, Tommy Jones. There's just so many great defenders there at the moment.
Yeah, and Darcy Byrne-Jones taking that small man role as they clear here. Port Adelaide. It was Frederick to Sutcliffe, who is now transferring and coming to Goldsack. Goes on a big sweeping run. He made the right call, but just couldn't pick the ball up cleanly, and some good pressure coming in there from Bacanello. And the ball now goes out of play, about 55 metres out from the Crows' goal. They've just done most of the attacking in this last 3 or 4 minutes. It's been good stuff from them. They've absorbed a lot in this opening term and lead by 5 points. 22 minutes gone. Umpire tosses it back into play. Strawn again in the ruck. Woodcock, nice tackle. Here they go through Hinge, who was just pushed off it as he kicked it. Ball goes up and out of bounds on the full. And the right decision made there by the umpire. Either a mark or out of bounds on the full. And Lean It, who is a thumping kick, transfers play. That's a great leg. Although the Crows get there just in the nick of time, but it's going to work out okay for the Power in the end. Williams now gets it on. Lovely pickup. That was outstanding by Aldridge. Frederick, he picks it up, just stops and props and then comes in board. Oh, it was the right idea, but it was just cut off at the last moment. And now the Crows have got the turnover. Newchurch with the football goes one way, then the other. That was smart play. Just bought himself some time. Oh, great tackle. That's got to be holding the ball. Brilliant stuff. And the Power now have turned it over and will have an opportunity to go forward through Tommy Corcoran.
Punches it forward, looking for Lord. Lord won't make it. Good spoil there by Borlase. A double-fisted spoil towards the boundary line. The Crows should track it out of defence here, and they do. So a neat left foot kick to a 2-on-1, though. That's not going to help. Goldsack let the ball over the back. Picked it up, though. Now Handball's into trouble. So Newchurch should have a clean pair of heels here. He picks it up. He has a bounce. He runs inside 50. He's still burning. Has he gone too far? Umpire says play on. Check side. Misses. Misses. But
that was a very, very generous 15 metres there, North, wasn't it?
He ran 32 metres, but I don't mind that. A little bit of theatre, bring some action back into the game. It's been a long time.
I tell you what, you're just looking for snippets today, I think, as a fan, if you're watching the stream.
Too right.
And seeing play like that will excite a lot of Crows fans. That was really good stuff.
The sort of thing they need, Adelaide. I think the small forward area has been somewhere they've been lacking the last couple of years. So to bring players like Terry Newchurch, we'll see James Rowe later today as well. So really bolstering that small forward, pressure forward area there.
Good call. Lee Gaskin in commentary today with Daniel Norton and Tom Wren. Hope you're enjoying it. Taj Schofield with a football. Brings it up the line. Of course, the son of Jared Schofield. And great to see him picked up. And Port Adelaide have got a few today that are playing. Jackson Mead, Trent Burgoyne also.
Jake Wiedemann. From the other camp side of things. Miller Carter, I believe, too, is Stephen Carter's son.
Is that right? And then Owen Montgomery also.
Correct. So
some real talent on display today.
It's the family club, Tommy.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. And the Crows, well, that was really good play. That was fantastic stuff there from Hinge. He goes long, up inside 50. They're looking for a crumb or a snap at goal. Ball spits out there. They've got an opportunity here through Clark if he can pick it up cleanly. He doesn't, but he gets it on the second attempt and throws it on the right, check side towards goal. Goes across the face, just got it on the fat side of the footy and out of bounds on the full. A free kick here to Port. 25 minutes gone. They lead 2-3 the Crows. The Power 1-3-9. In fact, there is the quarter-time siren. It was scrappy at times, but there was enough to like from that first term. But at quarter-time, it's Adelaide. The goal kickers are Gollant, who kicked the first, and then Thilthorpe kicked another one for the Crows before Dylan Williams kicked the Power's first and only goal of that opening term. And at quarter-time, it's the Crows 2-3-15. Port Adelaide 1-3-9.
Just a couple of minutes away from the second quarter of this AFL non-selected trial. Port Adelaide, of course, against the Crows in a beautiful Albertson Oval. God, what a time to be alive, Tommy and Lee. My name's Daniel Norton, Tom Wren, and of course Lee Gaskin, Chief AFL reporter, joining us, talking us through this first quarter of football. Some of the best players, Lee. I think Sam Berry's had a bit of the football, and I'd like Strawn's work in ruck.
Yeah, absolutely, North. I think Sam Berry's been outstanding. Mitch Hinge has got a bit of it in his first game since coming across from Brisbane. Had a dislocated shoulder in the pre-season, so good to see him getting a lot of footy there.
And I think Pedlar's been good too, who I might have mistaken a couple of times out there, North. He's been very, very good. Second quarter action here from Albertson Oval.
Yeah, I thought from a Port Adelaide perspective, that should be in the back and will be, umpire says, ball up. From a Port Adelaide perspective, Jake Wiedemann has been, the son of a gun. Son of Wayne Wiedemann has been really, really impressive. And Woodcock tries to grab the ball. Umpire says that is holding the ball. In fact, that will go to Woodcock centre field. So he plays on quickly with that new rule allowing that to happen. So he's got a little bit of space, pitches towards Schofield. Good hands, good gather. Well played, young man. Towards Mead. Mead goes wider towards Westbrook. Westbrook tries to gather the football for Port Adelaide in front of the bowling club there. But well done for the Crows. Drop the footy. Umpire will say that's holding. What's red hot? That is red hot. You go in and get the footy, and the free kick goes to Woodcock with the platinum blonde hair. Kicks inside 50 for Port Adelaide. Again, a big pack of players as expected. Crum down towards Mays. Mays kicks it high, very high, and that will be spoiled through. Well played there by the Crows defender, who just escaped me there, but geez, he kept his eye on the ball and did very, very well. Lee, Port Adelaide just controlling that first passage. Yeah,
beautiful. Aggression there and good tackling, rewarded the free kick. And yeah, Boyd Woodcock has really hit the hairdresser studio in the last week or so, hasn't he? That's some nice locks there. You're not going to mistake him.
And that was clamped there. And now Newchurch, who gives it off to Berry. That was nicely done by Newchurch initially. And then by Berry, who went forward. And a good mark taken overhead there by Clark, who's done a couple of really nice things. One of the top-up players. Short kick to Pedlar. Pedlar just that raking long left foot. Beautiful kick inside 50. Lean it in a one-on-one battle. Does well. Gets the ball away. That was nicely done. Piscini, who's had his injury problems over the years, kicks it around the body towards the boundary line. He'll be happy to find it. He does. And seeing it out there in the end was young Ollie Lord.
Done a couple of good things, Ollie Lord, in the first quarter. You get a couple of glimpses, don't you, of what the talent can do. And Piscini comes with great raps from Western Australia. And I know Ken Hinkley's a big fan of Piscini's as well. I think he started well.
He certainly has. And you're right about Lord. I mean, there's talent in that family. Grandfather, a Brownlow medalist, as the umpire now tosses the ball back into play. 5 points the margin. Gee, that was nicely done. That was very nicely done there by Tar Schofield. Speaking of talent in the family, the dad, of course, premiership player with the power. Here's Sam Hayes. He was really good early, wasn't he? A couple of nice taps. And a short kick on this occasion. That's barely the 15, but the umpire says that's okay.
He'll be looking for an opportunity this year. Hayes, of course, a dual All-Australian junior. You know, great talent, great raps on him. He just needs to get his opportunity. The ball goes forward towards the Port Adelaide 15-metre line. Well done there by Clark. Clark stood up in the tackle, did really well. The Crows almost off the shin that ball towards the boundary line. I doubt the umpire will call that deliberate. That'll be a boundary throw-in. And right in front of the Dad's Army bar there on the eastern side of the ground. But, yeah, Clark has been good. Just some interesting signs there from sort of some players that you don't often see, contracted players, top-up players. It's really good to see them get this opportunity.
Well, obviously having the Crows and Port Adelaide back in the SANFL this year, Nort, so you're going to see those top-up guys get a run around, and it looks like a lot of them are up to the level, which is great to see.
It's a boundary throw-in. Mays, Strawn gets it down towards Sutcliffe. Well done, though, there by the Port Adelaide player in Mays, trying to get the ball off the carpet. Goes Sutcliffe, who's in front. Good spoil. Ball comes wide towards Davis. He puts his body over the line. Mays crunches in. Well done there by Sutcliffe. Kicks inside 50. You're just talking about the incident behind play where you thought the head went over the ball. Meanwhile, the ball's gone forward. Quick soccer off the carpet there by the Port Adelaide player in Ben Edwards, but it goes through for a point. So Davis got crunched in a tackle.
He did, and I just saw his face as he went down. It looked like he sort of got the ankle pulled back the wrong way, and I reckon we're going to get a break in play here. He looked like he was in a fair bit of pain, Ben Davis, so not good to see. It's just on the half-back line now. The umpire's allowed play to go on. This kick's going to go right towards where he is at the moment. Going up there was Hayes, and on the second attempt takes a really good mark. Now, just to the left of Hayes.
Yeah, probably on that left leg, isn't he?
Yeah, we'll get a look at Benny Davis in just a moment. He's in a pretty bad way. He's hobbling, and he might need some assistance. You can just see him coming through the shot now. So Ben Davis, who has had a haircut and he's been playing across half-back today, done a couple of nice things, looking a bit more better on his feet now, but that might be his day done, unfortunately.
Yeah, he seems to be getting a little bit of momentum. You can't see it on screen at the moment, but he's just making his way off the ground now. So the umpire has given the ball back, and Port Adelaide go forward through Strange. So Strange on the left foot punches it towards that half-forward region. Crows players there just trying to clear it. In goes Sutcliffe. Port Adelaide surrounding the ball down there in that forward pocket. Gee, there's a lot of players. Sutcliffe grabs the ball. Now tries to find some space. He's hemmed into the pocket and thrown over for a boundary throw-in. So just looking at Davis, he's just nearly
Looks
over.
a bit better.
A little bit better.
He's walking off, yeah.
It was just that initial impact that really stunned him first, but then obviously the ankle doesn't look great from the first sight there. So hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, hopefully just a little roll or maybe even a slight sprain, nothing too serious. He was walking off unassisted as Aldridge has a shot towards goal. Ball just drifting across the face, off hands. Crows should tidy up here and rush it through. They do, and another behind. So the Power just doing it in points at the moment. 1-6-12 now. The Crows 2-3-15. 3 points the margin, and we've gone almost 6 minutes in this second term.
Pleasure to be with you. Part of this double-header stream from Albert and Oval. Daniel Norton, Lee Gaskin and Tommy Wren, fresh from the Australian Open. What a magnificent job you did then. Talk about going from boiled lollies to scorch almonds. You've gone from the Australian Open to this, which is the big deal. This is the big
100%. It's pretty hard calling from 2 people to 44. It's a lot different, but a lot of fun nonetheless.
So the ball goes forward for Port Adelaide. Well played there by the Crows. They're just trying to work it through, but Sutcliffe had a lot of the football in close. Mays around the body. Was it touched? It was by Borlays in the goal square, and that goal umpire signals are behind. So let's just take a check-in on that score. Port Adelaide 1-7-13. The Crows leading by 2 points, 2-3-15. A lot of those points, though, Lee, sort of rushed or touched on the goal line.
Yeah, just I suppose having some rush shots there on goal. But Sam Mays is just a very reliable player, isn't he, Norts? We saw him get a few opportunities last year and never really lets the side down. Just a very solid guy to have at your club. Played
nearly 100 games, of course, at the Lions. Might have just got to 100 games at the Lions and recruited by Port Adelaide a couple of years ago. So the ball goes towards half-back. Leanit's sort of hovering at the back. The ball won't get that far. Strawn tries to work it through. He's wrapped up in a tackle there by Leanit. Umpire sort of dancing, waving the hands in the air, looking for the ball to come out. And the umpire finally says, I will have it at left half forward for Port Adelaide.
So umpire tosses it up. It was Josh Worrell who brought the ball back with that thumping left foot kick to get it here. And now again we get some bodies on top of it. Ball comes out to Leanit, tries to get around the tackler. Couldn't do so, but still got the hands free. Now Sutcliffe puts it inside 50. Not a bad kick. Oh, it was good, but unfortunately the mark not taken, and now picked up by Taylor, who goes out towards centre wing. He's just dribbled the kick out there. Again, we're going to get a ball up here. I think Westbrook putting on a strong tackle, and in fact the umpire said that's holding the ball, so pretty hot on it there. And they'll get a free kick here, Port Adelaide. So a chance now to go forward. It might even be Strange. Just couldn't quite pick up the number. They go inside 50, and a good intercept mark taken here by Adelaide. So pretty scrappy play just to start this second term. No side really able to take full advantage just at the moment, but we'll see what the Crows can do on this occasion. I think that might be Taylor who's taken the mark. Looks to go forward now, up towards the half-forward flank. Himmelberg is there, but the ball bounces well before him, and we'll get a boundary throw-in.
It's been a bit scrappy, hasn't it? Hasn't set the world on fire this quarter. We're 8 minutes in, and no goal to either side. But the Crows sort of, you would think with the weaker side, there's a lot of bigger Port Adelaide players out there, but really holding their own at the moment.
They are,
Lee, particularly around the football. I've been impressed though with Sutcliffe. He's like a man possessed in this quarter, and just keep an eye on him. He'll be leading the Magpies this year. So the ball goes forward for the Crows. Piscini up against Himmelberg, well spoiled there by Piscini, and the ball goes towards the Bob Quinn stand. Had the pleasure of watching the Bob Quinn premiere documentary last night. It'll be released to the public in the next few weeks. Magnificent Bob Quinn. What a magnificent war hero, and two-time Magarey medalist and military medalist, of course, for this country. So boundary throw in. Hayes versus Strawn. Strawn gets the ball down. Here's a chance for the Crows. Only goes as far as Garner. Garner's got to get rid of the football. Now kicks into space. Serene versus, well, it's a 3-on-2 now. Port Adelaide players coming to try and help. That socket off the carpet there. Umpire says, I'm going to pay that deliberate. Oh boy. Well, I thought that might have been an accident.
Yeah,
but
that's a tough one, Norts. But it's good to see Tommy Wren's boy, Mitch Hinge, put some good pressure on there and really get amongst it. So, look, yeah, a bit of a tough call there for Port, but let's see what the Crows can do with this this kick.
I think it's Taylor, yeah, and he's going to have a chance to get him up towards attacking 50. Having a big run and jump at it there was Sam Berry. Frederick, though, does well, butters it up. Now Serene, he's tackled immediately and just buffeted over the boundary line, and a little bit of push and shove to go on afterwards here. So it was a strong tackle. Don't think there was anything really that malicious in it, but maybe just unhappy with the treatment. And the umpire says,
I don't mind that. Frederick coming in saying,
bit of feeling.
No, we're playing for keeps here.
Sam Berry and Jack Strange there, a little bit off the ball, and Cam Sutcliffe standing up for his teammates as well.
So the umpire tosses it back in. Hayes wins the tap down, but only gets it there as far as Hinge, who went after the football. Now they get the handball out. It was coming in the direction there of Bacanello, who goes inside 50, looking for a mark, not able to find one. Garner picks up the football now. He's played a little bit of senior football as well. Thilthorpe there with him, lean it, goes one way, then the other, goes back to Garner. Oh, they might have mucked this up here. And now the Crows are able to win the ball back. Scrappy stuff, but it comes out to Himmelberg, who throws it on the right boot. Big high, up and under towards the goal square, and a good mark. Running back with the flight of the football taken by Serene, and the Power should have a chance to clear.
Yeah, he looks like a likely prospect, Serene. Really composed under that ball. So Sutcliffe handballs to Strange. Strange on that left foot. Chips towards Williams, and he'll mark centre wing. So he'll just hold it up, looking for some options up the field. They're all one-on-ones. Now Strawn's pushing back in that hole. So he's going to have to try and measure this. He goes towards that pack of players. Strawn's there, big fist. Well crumbed there by the Adelaide Crow, and he'll get a free kick there. Cop one a little bit high there. And number 30, did we find out who number 30 was?
Yes, it's Hamish Latchford, who was originally listed as number 51, but Hamish Latchford is number 30.
Latchford will take the free kick here for the Crows. Cop one a little bit high. So half back, Adelaide looking to hit the scoreboard this quarter, of course. No one scored a goal, so Ace Taylor's got it. Oh, short, that's dangerous. And then Sutcliffe overruns it, so not one for the highlights reel, I can tell you there. The Crows push it forward, and the umpire says that'll go downfield. And Sutcliffe, just a little bit of heat here. I mean, this is Port and the Crows. You wouldn't expect anything else, would we?
Good to see, isn't it? You know, yeah, absolutely. And just blowing out a few cobwebs, bit of frustration. And that's what you want from senior players, isn't it? You know, just to indicate this is a serious game of football. We want, you know, you guys to put in the full effort.
Now, you're a student.
These guys will be almost sick of seeing each other. They played, you know, obviously a few exhibition games last year, the guys who weren't picked in the AFL team, and next week I'm sure they'll probably go at it again.
You're a student of the game, Lee. Strawn got the legs here from 48.
He's a ruckman, Nort, so I'm going to bet against him, unfortunately.
I'm going to go for him. My man Strawn goes inside 50, puts it on its way. I've backed him in. He's got the distance, but he's just hooked it, just going for that extra distance for a Mana score.
He's a classic ruckman, Nort. So, you know, you don't put him in front of goals more than 30 out.
Yeah, well, tell Brendan Lade that. 2-4-16, the Crows. The Power 1-7-13. T-shirt Tommy Wren, take it away.
Jared Leanett, here's a thumping kick. He doesn't struggle with distance, and he kicks it long, but, oh, that's a great grab. Fantastic.
Ball ace.
Ball ace, that's what they want to see, just a little bit. And again, we see this infringement rule, but James Ball ace had a tough time probably in the opening 10 or 15 minutes against Wiedemann, but he's steadied nicely and now has a chance to get on the scoreboard himself.
He's had a couple of nice plays, hasn't he? It was a good spoil, I think, earlier on in the game, and now he's, well, should be able to capitalise on this opportunity to get the Crows their third goal of the day. His
dad would know nearly every single blade of grass here at Albertson Oval, of course, former Port Adelaide Premiership captain, and see whether his son can kick his first goal.
He's played a bit forward in juniors, a lot in defence though. He comes in from about 30 metres out and he pops it through. So well done there for young James Ball-Ace. And that's the Crows' third goal for the morning. 13 and a half minutes into this second term. They open up again, a bit of a handy buffer. 9-point lead now, so Ball-Ace. That was a really good contested mark. I think that's what will please Crows fans more than anything. Good, strong stuff from the draftee from just last year, and you can see he's got a really nice size about him, Lee. He's going to be a player that I think he's going to play a lot of senior football down the track.
Yeah, obviously Port Adelaide would love to have him at the club, but, you know, the next generation academy rules, he's born in Egypt, and so falls into the Crows category, and yeah, really exciting prospect to pick up as a rookie.
Of course, a double header from Albertson today. We're broadcasting from the Port Adelaide headquarters side, and we can see Connor Rosie. He looks very comfortable in there. He's playing today.
Well, that's good because there was a bit of doubt, yeah.
Over the foot injury, I can see Lockie Jones. He's built like an outhouse, isn't he? And
proverbial.
Then you've got Charlie Dixon as well, who is no small man. I can give you the strong tip. So Woodcock handballs the ball forward, gets it again in the 1-2, handballs over the top to no one in particular. Himmelberg cuts it off for the Crows to Newchurch. Newchurch hands it over to the Adelaide Football Club, go forward again. But well done by Goldsack. Holds the ball up, short to Leanett, and Port Adelaide can reload. Handball again to Leanett. Leanett's had a lot of the footy in this game. Kick number 8, pitches in front of that player over there in Wiedemann. Wiedemann tries to trap it, runs out of space, and there'll be a boundary thrown in front of the bowling club some 40 metres around from the Port Adelaide goal. The Crows leading by 9 points, but your point about Connor Rosie, it's great to see that he's playing today, and not too much doubt over that foot if he's playing today. And looking forward to a lot of the other younger Port Adelaide players in the second game. Miles Bergman, Lockie Jones. So Port Adelaide go forward, spoil just in front of goal. We've seen that a lot today, Lee. That's another behind for Port Adelaide. I reckon there's 3 or 4 that have been spoiled from the goal square, and they're 1-8-14. Adelaide 3-4-22.
Well, this is going to be hinge. Yeah, there's been, I reckon, at least 4 or 5 rush behinds today as the Crows bring it out, and it's a little bit sloppy. So Woodcock has a chance here to make them pay. Gives off the handball to Mays, who's had a couple of shots at goal himself. Frederick now just on the point of the 50, going one way, then the other. They're going backwards to go forwards here. Goldsack now grabs it. He just goes route one direct. A big pack forms. Ball over the back. Can someone crumb it? No, they can't. Strong tackle there from Wiedemann. No one able to get this football out. The umpire stalking, blows the whistle finally and says, I'll have it. And we'll get a ball up about 30 metres out here from Port's goal. They'd like one. They've done a lot of attacking, but just haven't been able to convert. Rucks go at it. Ball comes to ground. Hinges in there again. And Crows have the numbers around it. Berry throws it on the right boot. Gets it up towards Newchurch and Frederick. Leanett goes in there. He's been busy. You've called that one Nords. Here's Frederick again. Ball spills out. Newchurch is in there. Leanett again. Throws it on the right boot. High up and under. Gets it inside 50. Himmelberg sets himself. Almost took the mark. Just quite couldn't. Now the ball spills out again. Good strong tackle there. That came from Boyle, who was the man that was tackled. Got the football away, though, so not holding the ball. Umpire blows the whistle and again says, I'll have it. About 40 metres out here from Port's goal. They trail by 8 points. 17 minutes gone, second term.
Well, look at that screen. A lot of players around the football. Lord tries to get the ball down to a Port Adelaide player's advantage. There'll be another ball up. You can expect that. These things happen a lot in modern football. 16, 17 players around the ball, and there'll be a secondary ball up. So umpire says, I'm going to backpedal this way, and you guys can go that way. Himmelberg gets it down towards Crows play. He's in the back. Umpire says, I will have it again. So a little bit of a stalemate at the moment, Lee, and this can happen, of course, the modern game with so many players around the footy.
Yeah, and also it's the first game of the season for these guys, North, so very scrappy. Any footy in February is always a little bit, all over the place. So good for the guys to get the cobwebs out, and we'll see an improved showing when they meet next week. But yeah, good to see him persevering, and let's hopefully see the skills get a bit better in the second half.
Of course, both these clubs meet again next week in the main game, in that Amy Community Series game down at Noarlunga on March the 7th. So an unusual start. It's the times we live in at the moment with COVID. The AFL wanting to reduce interstate travel through any risks of border closures, etc. So both of these teams, from a senior perspective, will be playing again next week. So trying to get the ball free. Mays gets it for Port Adelaide. Underground handball, finds Woodcock. Woodcock around the body. Who's there? Big pack of players. Serene had the ball punched away from him. Now the Crows can try and clear. Whoops, he slits a bit of Torval and Dean. Over the top goes that player in. I think it's Westbrook. Westbrook tries to get the ball free. One under the Crows. There goes Wiedemann around the body. That same scenario. The ball touched in the goal square, and the Crows start to transfer the ball to the outer side. Now he's got to wait and prop. Woodcock breathing down his neck. Ball towards centre wing. Big pack of players. Garner takes the mark. Plays on. Gives it over the top there to the young player in Westbrook. And Westbrook, that is an absolute shank. And that goes out of bounds on the fall. And a relieving free kick to the Crows.
Yeah, it's going to be Walton who takes it here, one of the top-up players. He goes in short, and that's going to be okay. And there's Pedler, who's been good today. Goes short. So just taking it easy here, the Crows. Just happy to chip the ball around. Ball now inboard. Oh, nice mark taken. That was very, very nicely read there. And
Jackson Mead.
That was Jackson Mead, yeah, really good. That was a nice little bit of play from him. They look to transfer again, but bit of an awkward turnover. Not the best there. Now the ball comes inboard to Berry, almost directly in the middle of the ground. He gives it off quickly. Long kick up inside 50. Phil Thorpe is there. Doesn't get there. Garner led him to the footy and doing some nice things, Garner. That was well played too by Hayes.
It's a pretty average kick, though, to Phil Thorpe. Not giving the big forward much chance there.
And here's Mead again. So a couple of nice little bits of play here from Jackson Mead, who's going to go short, and as Port look to transfer play.
So the veteran Goldsack's got it. Collingwood Premiership player way back in 2010, of course. Goes to Sutcliffe, who had a short career at the Fremantle Dockers as well. Has played some senior football for Port Adelaide here in the AFL as well, and finds Woodcock, who, well, he's racking up getting the footy. Woodcock, he'd be up to, I think, at least a dozen touches. Ball goes for a big grab. Ball's wrapped up, and almost a carbon copy of the mark that he took some 7 or 8 minutes ago.
He's just got some confidence though now, doesn't he? He's jumping at the football.
Yeah, he's a great prospect, isn't he? I love that sort of aggression and really backing himself to contest the mark.
Mays handballs out of traffic. The ball finds Frederick. Now Frederick's got a clean pair of heels, goes long towards half forward. Now Wiedemann's got arms pumping. Well done there by Schofield's got to try and meet the football. Wiedemann cuts it off. That's brilliantly done. Goes in short. Geez, he did that really, really well, and finds Sam Mays just on the perimeter. He'll have to kick from around about 52 metres out. That was well played.
He's close to best on ground at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's getting involved every time the Port goes forward. He's the most dangerous player they have in their attacking half. So, wow, he's really put on a show today.
I don't think he's got the legs, mate. He's shaping up to go long, as you'd expect.
I'm going to back him in, Norts.
You're going to back him in?
Port kid, I'm going to back him in.
Okay. Legs of steel, he goes bang from 52, launches it and just tugs it slightly to the left, going for that extra distance.
No problem, though.
So Port Adelaide, 1 goal 9.
We had a Balfour's pie on that, didn't we, Norts?
We did. 1-9-15, Port Adelaide. Adelaide 3-4-22, closing stages of the second quarter.
I think we're playing 25-minute quarters here today, so about 3 minutes to go as Joshy Worrell plays on and then dumps it long. And now the Crows looking to go forward. They haven't done too much of that in this quarter. And kick comes forward. Not a great one. Pacini read it best, but didn't really give the leading man there in Marshman much of a hope. And his kick turned it straight here to Mead. And Mead now will come in board. He goes to Garner, who's a lovely left foot kick. And you see it there. Transfers play. So it comes to the fat side. Nicely done. Now the kick from Schofield. That's also okay. Just working the ball around. Williams, who kicked that beautiful goal in the first quarter. He's going to put the ball inside 50 now, looking for a mark. Gets to the hot spot. No one able to take it. A couple of handballs. It was Strawn who then got it out. Now Himmelberg on the run and takes it on the second attempt ahead of Westbrook. So well done there by Elliot Himmelberg. I don't know if that was the intended target there, but it's going to work out okay. Kick now over the top here, and Latchford takes the mark just on the defensive side of centre wing. He looks to go long. Phil Thorpe, let's have a look at him. Yeah, nicely done. Uncontested in the end. Goldsack running back with it. Phil Thorpe plays on quickly. It's going to be 50. And there's that rule again. I reckon that's probably the fourth one we've had today.
I reckon that's on the...
That's on Schofield.
Schofield, I think, for running through the encroachment area there. That's not on...
Wasn't on Goldsack?
Not on Gold.
And Red now with another opportunity deep inside 50. It's Himmelberg and Borlase. Borlase did just well enough, fisted it out of bounds, and we're going to throw in that.
Up here, he's kicking from about 35 metres out on a slight angle. We know he's got huge wraps on him. He was the number 2 pick. And Jamara Ugelhagen ended up, of course, going at number 1. But Phil Thorpe, he's done a couple of nice things today. Should convert from here. He comes in and he does put it through. Well done. The umpire did some work, but he's done enough. And he's kicked the Crows' 4th goal, the 2nd for this term. And it's his 2nd goal of the day also. So a nice return so far for the number 2 pick from last year's draft. And the Crows now open up a 13-point lead deep into this 2nd term. All thanks to Balfours. Lee Gaskin, Daniel Norton and Tom Wren with you here at Albertson Oval.
Yeah, we've seen 4 50-metre penalties today. I'll tell you what, the players got a lot to think about, haven't they, at the moment? They've got that, obviously, new standing rule. You've got the encroachment zone that's been in play for the last 2 or 3 years. It is a challenge.
And especially for young players, Norts, like Taj Schofield, it's going to take players like that a while to get used to it.
Indeed. The standing rule is going to be interesting. I've heard a lot of people, commentators alike, say, well, why don't you just go back 2 metres off the mark?
Yep.
And then, but the rule is, and I've had to clarify, the rule is if you can't retreat backwards either. When the umpire says stand, you have to remain standing.
Okay.
You can't move backwards, laterally or forward.
Right.
Ball goes forward. Should be a free kick there to the Crows player. Who will take that free kick, and Ace Taylor. So Taylor by hand. Crows got a little bit of run here. That ball was just going to pitch in front of Himmelberg, and Lena just escorts it over the boundary line. In front of our broadcast area here at Albertson Oval, the magnificent Albertson Oval, sun-drenched. We're about 20 seconds short of half-time, and the Crows, a handy lead, 13 points. Port Adelaide 1-9, and the Crows 4-4-28. So boundary throw-in. They go again. Strawn gets it down. Picks up the handball as well, so well played. But Mays gets the ball for Port Adelaide, goes forward, partially smothered off the foot. Wiedemann tries to get the handball free, and he doesn't. And Sutcliffe escorts it over the boundary line. And there is the siren to finish what's been a scrappy but entertaining first half of football. It's great to have football back. This is the non-selected game, of course. Port Adelaide hosting the Adelaide Crows, and the Crows 13-point leaders at half-time, 28-15. Lee, a quick summary.
Yeah, like you said, no, it's pretty scrappy there. 50-metre penalties have played a bit of a role. A couple of goals for Thilthorpe, he's looked very handy. Wiedemann at Port Adelaide's looked really good, hasn't he? And I think young Berry looked very impressive through the midfield for the Crows. The only concern, obviously, from an injury perspective, Ben Davis going off in that second quarter with what looks like a bit of an ankle or lower leg injury.
Hasn't come back yet, has he, at this stage? He did end up walking off the ground on his own, but he was a little bit proppy, and you'd think, given it's only a trial game, he probably won't be back today. For those just tuning in for the first time today, goal kickers to half-time. Riley Filthorpe has booted a couple. Lockie Gollant got the first one of the day. And James Borlase kicked a nice goal after getting a 50-metre penalty, but a really good intercept, contested mark. And for the Power, it was Dylan Williams who kicked a lovely goal on the left boot.
If you look at the scoreboard in isolation, 1 goal 9 looks terrible from a goal scoring point
They've
of
had
view.
a lot of the play, though, haven't they, Port?
And
Correct.
A lot of those have been rushed as well, Nort. So probably 3 or 4 of those have been sort of rushed over the line.
I don't think there have been really that many missed set shots from 30 or 40 out. It's been more sort of punched through from the goal square. So maybe they just need to lift their eyes and look for a better option just inside that 50-metre perimeter when going forward, because a lot of balls have been spoiled through. So the Port Adelaide side just leaving the ground in front of us in that silver Guernsey. They look striking with the silver Guernsey. The new Macron range looks magnificent with the black shorts. The Crows on the other side of the ground just leaving as well. So we'll just try and maybe find out from the Crows an injury update on Davis for those people listening to the stream at home. But Tommy, thanks to Balfours, it's been a fantastic half of footy.
Yeah, and we'll take a short break. We'll be back with all of the second half action in about 10 minutes or so. But thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying it at half time. It's the Crows, 4-4-28, the Power, 1-9-15. Lee Gaskin, Daniel Norton, Tom Wren with you. We'll be back with all of the second half in just a few minutes.
Almost certain he's a left footer. So, look, he is someone that Adelaide loved. They targeted him in the draft. There was a lot of interest.
Welcome back to Albertson Oval, just ahead of the second half of this AFL non-selected trial between Port Adelaide and the Crows, live from Albertson Oval. 4-4-28 the Crows, Port Adelaide 1-9-15, a margin of 13 points. Daniel Norton with you, Tom Rand and also Lee Gaskin. And Tommy, like we said before, a bit of a scrappy first half, but some good signs, and you just look for glimpses, don't you? Just look for glimpses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from a Crows perspective, the fact that Phil Thorpe, their number 2 pick, has kicked a couple of goals would be really encouraging. Hasn't had a stack of the football, but, 2 goals is still a nice return for a half of football. James Borlase has done a really good job as well, an intercept mark, a really good battle with Jake Wiedemann. Pedler was excellent, particularly in that first term, and Sam Berry's got plenty of the football today. That's probably the story for the Crows. And for Port, I think Jake Wiedemann's been maybe their best on ground, Lee, in that first half. He was exceptional, really attacking the football strongly, but he's shown some really good signs today, one of their Magpies players.
He certainly has, Tommy, and obviously with the mid-season draft this year and chance for clubs to pick players up from the state leagues, he's really putting his name forward. And I've liked the game of Boyd Woodcock as well, really playing more in the midfield as opposed to half forward, small forward as you saw last year in the AFL. So, looking forward to the second half.
I like Mead and Schofield as well. I think they've been clean in tight contests as well. So, 2 son of guns, which is great for Port Adelaide. So, at the bounce, the familiar setup again. It will be Hayes up against Strawn. Hayes tries to reach over the top. Berry will get the first touch of the ball for the second half of the Crows as they punch the ball forward towards centre half forward. Ball pitches just in front of that Crows player. Well, good pick up there. Tries to get the handball free. Berry again gets there. Jams on the left foot. He's knocked up getting the football today. Newchurch finds some space. Handball. Crows go forward. Drop punt. This will be a good start to the second half. It just goes to the left of the goalpost there, through for a minor score. But some good football, some quick hands. Berry getting his hands on the football, and Newchurch seems to have time and space.
He certainly does. I love that the centre bounce there, Sam Berry versus Cam Sutcliffe. Like, we've seen Cam for a number of years plays a tagger, and so really good education there for Berry.
And Gollant was the man who had the shot at goal. He couldn't quite convert. He kicked the first of the game, but couldn't quite get it there. Crows go inside 50, and the mark is taken probably about 55 metres out from goal. And this young man had quite a bit of the football in that first half. Oliver Clark, and it was Marini and also Lockie Matthews that were working together to get that ball to Clark. So he'll line up from, well, the paint of the 50, I reckon. It'll take a big effort from here. 45-degree angle. We're right behind him as he has his shot at goal. He's just hooked it. Distance right there. Himmelberg goes up, couldn't take it. Tries to then throw it on the boot. Passini picks it up. The umpire has called holding the ball. Had a nice jump at it there, Elliot Himmelberg, but tackled as he went to ground. So it'll be a free kick here for Garner, who goes long. Outside 50 now. Ball ace is there. Can he take the mark? No, he can't. Ball comes off hands. We've got a few players around this football. In there is Mead. Crows, though, get it out. That was nicely done. Worked out towards the boundary there by Taylor. Just handballed it to himself and then ran after it. Going in after it there is Sutcliffe. He can't take the football. Mead again going after it. And the ball now goes out of play. And we'll get a boundary throw in. And there's been just the one behind added so far in this half. It's gone the way of the Crows. They lead by 14 points. 2 minutes gone in the third term.
Just a reminder, no spectators at today's game due to COVID protocols enforced by the AFL, but it is a pleasure. Thanks to Balfour's bringing you today's action live stream here from Albertson Oval. She got dumped in the tackle there, Sutcliffe. There's just been a little bit going on there between Sutcliffe and some of the Crows players. We love that, a little bit of niggle. So Port Adelaide try and bring the ball out of defence, jams it on the boot. A good mark going back with a flight there is Marini. Stood up there when the cavalry were coming. So Marini, left foot, puts it inside 50. Big pack of plays, almost too easy. Oh, far too easy there. And the big man has taken that mark there for the Crows, and that is Thilthorpe again, shooting for goal number 3. Geez, he got held out, and that was just too easy.
Really just to show our strength against his defender there, wasn't it? And just pushing him off. Was that Tyson Goldsack there? Was that the one his defender there? Yeah, really strong work from Thilthorpe. Look,
we've seen him from directly in front. Let's have a look at him from a 45-degree angle. 35 metres out, leans back, pushes it, just across the face of goal. But still a neat kick. He's kicked 2-1, and he's looked very, very likely when the ball goes forward.
That was really nice. I think that'll be the most pleasing highlight almost of the day for Thilthorpe and for Crows fans who want to see a bit from the young man, and that was some really nice signs. They go long here, Port, again through Leonard. Now they look to go forward for the first time really in this half. Here's Worrell up against Woodcock. This should be a good battle. Woodcock's been exceptional today. Just got that one off the side of the boot. Didn't get the purchase he wanted. Burgoyne couldn't take the mark. He's been pretty quiet today. A couple of touches. Ball now comes out. Spilled out on the defensive 50 here for the Crows. They get the footy now through Merritt, who goes long. Frederick couldn't take the mark there for Port. Picking it up there was Berry. His kick was partially smothered. Still managed to gain about 10 or 15 metres. Thilthorpe did well. Put it on the left boot. That's an outstanding kick. Gee, that was good skills from the big fella. Great stuff. He gets it off to Clark, who goes inside 50, and a nice intercept mark is taken there by Leonard. He looks to play on quickly. Gets it over the top. That was nicely done. And the mark is taken by Moore. He comes in board. Mays now goes one way, then the next. Changes direction. Port Adelaide, this is better. Looking to go up inside 50. Ball getting in there now. Turning or trying to turn his man. Not able to do so. Taylor laid a strong tackle. Ball goes out of play. And we'll get a throw in about 30 metres out here from Port's goal. They trail by 15 points. 4.5 gone in the third term.
Young Montgomery there, obviously son of Port Adelaide, assistant coach Brett Montgomery. So we've referred to it a few times this afternoon. Father, sons everywhere out there for Port Adelaide. So Williams tries to get free. Umpire says that's a throw and a correct decision. The free kick there will go to Mitch Hinge. So Mitch Hinge, the former Brisbane Lion, left-footed. Now he's got big trouble. Didn't see Williams.
He grow last year, 6 or 7 inches in 1 year, and you can imagine, the shock to the.
Marini handballs over the top to Thilthorpe. Thilthorpe has time to think about it. Goes to Newchurch. Newchurch runs over the football. Frederick wraps him up. So does Goldsack, and Newchurch is now in big trouble. And umpire says, "I will ball that up." So Thilthorpe thought his way through it, had a chance there. Adelaide just fumbled at the wrong time.
It was a really nice play, just couldn't hit that kick when he really needed to, and Newchurch has got a bad bounce.
Himmelberg up against Hayes. Hayes gets it down towards Mays. Now, Mays had a lot of the football. Handballs towards Moore. Moore around the corner for Port Adelaide. And a good mark there, a strong mark there by Max Merritt and the Meteors. So they go forward there. Number 57 of the Crows. That's a magnificent kick by Cameron Hutchins. And Adelaide moving the ball very well until that's what you do. You see, you put the jinx on them, and Sam Hayes takes it for Port Adelaide and clears defensively way over to the other side of the ground, and a very good mark there taken there by Ben Edwards.
So Ben Edwards now looking to come back in board. Leonard's had plenty of the football today. He wants to run and carry, gives it back to Edwards, and now they transfer play completely. And coming up towards Woodcock, who's been really busy today. He's on Worrell. Runs around quickly, thumps it long up inside 50 looking for Williams, but doing a good job there was Strawn. Just getting in the way, the big ruckman, and that's what you want from the big fella.
He's done that a lot today, hasn't he?
He's been good.
Like the Rock of Gibraltar back there.
He's done that really nicely.
He's developing nicely, Strawn. His third season, I think, at the Crows. He's really coming to his own now.
And they need those backup options, don't they, as they look to go forward here. The Crows, Thilthorpe's been outstanding in this second half. Already with a couple of goals to his name. Here's Newchurch. He's got some wheels. He takes the mark. He can run into the open goal. And it's as easy as that. Brilliant end-to-end stuff. Thilthorpe to Newchurch. And that's another goal there for Adelaide. The first of the second half. And the skills there from Thilthorpe to set up Newchurch, just first class.
That's the sort of play the Crows would be love to see for the next decade, Tommy. Thilthorpe getting the ball about half forward. Probably wanted a bit deeper, but, he had the skills and the pace and the awareness as well to put it right in front of Newchurch, who just put on the jets, and when he got it, he was gone. That was a sensational bit of play.
Spare a thought for Tyson Goldsack. Those 33-year-old legs putting in the big ones as Newchurch has bolted from centre half forward. He saw the space, he saw it, and you could see Goldsack. It was like one of those greyhounds. You knew you never going to quite get there.
Yeah, he was thinking,
never going to get there.
Why am I playing at 8:30 in the morning? I thought I'd given this up, and he's chasing Tarek Newchurch, which is probably one of the toughest tasks you're going to get for the day.
Thilthorpe playing really well in this AFL non-selected game. He's playing really
sensational.
Looking forward to seeing him play at a more senior level, obviously, in the coming weeks. At the bounce, Hayes gets the ball down, handball on the up there towards the Crows player in Hutchins. Hutchins gets it, free kick forward. Now Goldsack, bad bounce, B-grade bounce. Port Adelaide, though, wrap it up. That's dangerous. Thilthorpe, quick hands to Himmelberg. Himmelberg around the body. Has it got the bounce? Yes, it has.
Beautiful finish from Himmelberg. That's the sort of skills you want to see from the big man.
And I thought the hands there from Thilthorpe, quick as you like, gave it to Himmelberg, opened up the space, a snap and a bounce through. And Adelaide, they've kick-started this second half full of running. 6-6-42. Port Adelaide 1-9-15.
I'll tell you what, Lee. Riley Filthorpe, couple of goals in that first half, but only maybe 3 touches. This second half, he's had 7 touches, I reckon, already in, 8.5 minutes of football, and he has just been outstanding.
Well, it's great to see him getting involved. We saw him a bit higher before there. He was inside 50, but it's just got that sort of awareness and, the quick hands, knowing where his teammates are. It's what you want to see, and it's easy to see why the Crows took him so high in the draft last year.
Good learning curve too for Passini. Passini's on him at the moment for Port Adelaide now.
Yep.
Only a young player as well, obviously only in his second pre-season at the moment. So good experience for both players today. Really good experience.
Here's Hayes and Strong going at it in the ruck. They've done that pretty much all day. Berry now, who's been solid for the Crows, gets the ball forward, looking for a teammate, not able to find one there in Matthews, who was going after the footy, but they get another opportunity.
Berry hurt too.
And here's Hutchins. Okay, so Berry's still down. Yeah, good call, Norts. And another big mark taken inside 50. And they'll get another shot at goal. Is that Filthorpe again?
Yeah.
I think it might be.
Yes, it is.
So a great grab again. Now, Berry, you can just see him at the bottom of the screen getting to his feet, so he's okay. That's good to see. Just copped a bit of a knock and he was slow to his feet, but now running off. But Riley Filthorpe, again, a contested mark. And he'll line up from about 45 metres out on a fairly sharp angle. So you'll get a good look at it here. Kicking towards the southern end. Kicks on its way, just drifting across the face of goal and through for one behind. So he's still got just the 2 goals for the day, but he has been comfortably the best man on the ground in his second half. And he's showing some really good stuff. And the Crows move along to 6-7-43. The Power, 1 goal, 9-15, 10 minutes gone, third term.
If you just tuned in, no breeze here at Albertson Oval today, not favouring any end. It is perfect conditions, heading for a maximum here in Adelaide, 28 degrees. For those members from both clubs listening to state, I'd like to say a big welcome to those people around the world and right around Australia as well. So I hope you're enjoying today's coverage here from Albertson Oval. Good grab, protected the space really, really well there, that Crows player in Jack Lewis. So Lewis goes short, little left foot, just goes far enough. And the Crows look to move the ball through the centre field. Goes long towards centre forward. Big pack of players. Port Adelaide player picks the ball up. Little look away handball to Mays. Mays will just try and hit up Dylan Williams here with a short pass, and he does. So 3 kicks from goal. Short to Sutcliffe, wearing the number 1. Chips in board. Looks for Wiedemann. Finds Wiedemann. Good grab and certainly a good pass there, and Port Adelaide look to kick just their second goal for the game. But good transition football, Lee.
That's outstanding play, and I think Josh Worrell, a bit of a learning opportunity for him there. He just gave Dylan Williams too much room, and then he wasn't able to come back and then cut the space off for Cam Sutcliffe. So he's got to do one or the other in that circumstance. So bit of a learning opportunity for Josh Worrell going forward.
The son of Wayne Wiedemann. Can you believe that? We remember that in those 90s, weed. So Jake Wiedemann from 40, he's just pushed that, I think, to the right. It just caught the breeze there. Not much breeze here at Albertson, but just caught it and went to the right. So another minor score for Port Adelaide. That scoreboard reading a little bit uneasy at the moment from a goals and behind situation. 110-16 to the Crows. They are kicking well, 6-7-43, or certainly kicking better than Port Adelaide.
Okay, ball into the middle of the ground here now, and trying to dive on top of it and take it was Lockie Ryan. Ball comes out though, and the kick over the top. Mays is there. If he can trap it, there's a chance for a goal here. Handballs it back in board. That was nicely done. Now over the top here to Williams, who knew that he was going to be tackled, so he tried to tap it back himself, but it was rushed through for one behind. Ollie Lord was also involved in that exchange. And another behind here for the Power. They move along to 111, can you believe, 17. The Crows 6-7-43.
I guess like we did say, though, a lot of those behinds have been rushed.
They have been rushed. And if you're just joining us, Riley Filthorpe, the only multiple goal kicker out there with a couple. And some really good signs, though, from him and a few other players. Jake Wiedemann for Port today, who just had one behind. But the margin at the moment, 26 points in favour of the Crows.
Yeah, handy lead midway through the third quarter, so both teams just sort of feeling each other out here, early stages of the second half. Down towards Newchurch, good pick up there by the Crows player, and now they're away. Clark handballs over the top to the young man in Walton. Walton on the left foot, kicks towards half forward. Now it's Passini versus Marshman.
Well
Passini did well, just kept his feet, goes short to Leanett, and Leanett finds Wiedemann again, who's had a lot of the footy. So Wiedemann goes in short to a 3-on-1, if you don't mind. That's got to be precise, and it wasn't quite what he was looking for. The Crows try and wrap it up there now, and will try and hold it in for a ball up, and that's what they've got. So trying to pick off a little 2 on 1 there.
You can see what he's trying to do there by trying to hit that 45 kick and get back in the corridor. But I think in that circumstance, 3 on 1, you probably just play the safe option down the line.
So Strawn now, that'll be a free kick to the Port Adelaide player. Play on advantage. Schofield goes short. Gee, Wiedemann just running in great patterns at the moment. Woodcock now, he's in trouble too high, surely. And that will be a free kick to Boyd Woodcock, about 60 metres out, right on the Macron logo here at Albertson Oval. So Woodcock goes long towards the teeth of the square. Pack of players emerge. Well done there by Worrell. Handballs to Strawn. Strawn goes wide to Marshman. Now, what can Marshman do? He tries to pick it up. He looks a little ungainly, but snaps around the body and does really well in the end. And a good strong mark there by Lockie Gollan to kick the first goal of the game.
He did, and it's a nice kick as well. Gets it inboard and finds O'Connor, who got it on quickly, and now the ball up towards the attacking 50. Berry, maybe a fraction too far out to score, so he plays on quickly. Philthorpe over the top, takes the chest mark. Well, he deserves a goal because his second half thus far has been just magnificent. He's going to have to run around here, so let's see if he can think his way through this. You can see Garner there. He's about 10 metres away. He's not allowed to come inside that, so he's going to go on the left boot, is he? He does. Hooks it around, and I reckon he's done it beautifully well. He's showing us he can kick on both feet. That's a really...
He's gone short again.
Oh, yeah.
Which paid him back.
Someone's going to have to kick a goal at some point. Taylor Walker will be lining up for his...
Particularly in this second half, Lee, he's been sensational.
That was all set up by that, just the ability to sort of take the mark and then a quick handball and just keep moving the ball on, Tommy, because they were able to get a quick play. I really like that from the Crows. You can see that's the style of play that Matthew Nix is trying to implement this season. Last year he came in, just I suppose better down some key foundation points, and probably now he's trying to put another layer of game style into the club in his second year in charge. So very promising signs, and third goal for Philthorpe is looking great.
He's looking sensational. All thanks to Balfours, Daniel Norton, Lee Gaskin, our AFL chief reporter, and myself, Tom Wren. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here today from Albertson Oval. Just a reminder, this is the non-selected AFL game, and then we've got the senior match starting at 11:30. So back-to-back games, wherever you're streaming. I hope you're enjoying it. I think we're going to get a secondary bounce here. 25-minute quarters in this match. And perhaps a little bit surprisingly, Philthorpe not playing in the senior match, Lee, but he's certainly showing us that he's got a ton of ability. And Elliot Himmelberg, another one who also wasn't selected.
I think based on today's performance, Tommy, it'd be a shock if we don't see Riley Philthorpe next week in the other game down at Noarlunga against Port Adelaide.
Yeah, no doubt, particularly what we've seen at the start of this second half.
Well, we're going to take a short 5 or 10 minute break. We're just going to work through some technical issues at the moment, so stay with us. The stream will continue. The commentary team will take a 5 or 10 minute break. We'll be back hopefully at 3/4 time to bring you all the details and all the action from the last quarter here at Albertson. Three-quarter time here at Albertson Oval. Welcome back to everyone streaming this coverage either on the Port Adelaide Football Club website or the Adelaide Football Club website. It is three-quarter time. The Crows leading by 25 points. It is the Crows 8-7-55. Port Adelaide 3-12-30. Daniel Norton, Tom Wren and Lee Gaskin with you.
Yeah, and we've sorted out those few little technical issues, but the story, I think, of that third quarter, Lee, was definitely Riley Thilthorpe. A couple of goals in that term. He's got 4 for the afternoon now, and gee, if you're a Crows fan watching at the moment, a lot of excitement there. He was sensational in that term.
It wasn't just the goals, Tommy. It's, you know, his marking ability, his ability to set up his teammates as well. He's just such a presence in that forward 50. And it's really exciting times for the Crows to see a player like Riley Thilthorpe starting out his career. And
from a Port perspective, Moore kicked their second goal, and then Montgomery almost immediately after was nice. And there was a beautiful bit of play as well where Mead got it to Burgoyne. He had a little right foot snap at goal, didn't quite go through, but a couple of great Port Adelaide names there in Mead and Burgoyne with a nice bit of play, Norts.
My word, yeah, you could just see the way Burgoyne crumbed that ball, and we were just talking off
he's
air
got some
too.
Talent.
Yeah, how much talent he's got, and how Mead and Schofield sort of, they're low to the ground, they're very sort of they're low centre of gravity. They play very similar sort of styles, and both very skillful. Just in terms of Thilthorpe, though, you could just see him growing into the game, couldn't you? His confidence, he started getting a presence 100%. In that second quarter.
Yeah, and he started to get that confidence of where to run to, Lee, and it was just becoming instinctive. Perhaps in the first half, just a little bit slow, which is understandable to find his feet. But I think once he got a couple of marks in general play, he just got so much more confidence.
Yeah, I think the service from his teammates got a bit better as the game has gone on as well, Tommy. They sort of know his leading patterns and know where to put the ball for him. So, yeah, really great signs there, and hopefully continue on for this last quarter.
So if you're just joining us, it was the Crows by 6 points at quarter time. They led by 13 at half time, and the margin now 25 points as we head into the final term. A reminder as well that the coverage is going to keep on coming. This is only the first game of 2 today, can you believe? We've got another one coming, and that's the seniors, if you like, taking on one another. Port and the Crows doing battle again in the second game, starting at 11:30 North.
Yes, Chris Dittmar will join us. Will Goodings as well will bring you through that coverage from around about 11:30. So really looking forward to that. The final quarter, though, underway here in this AFL non-selected game. And like they've gone all day, it's Strawn up against Hayes. Hayes brings the ball down, tries to gather it with one hand. Handballs back towards Garner. Quick hands, good running through the centre. Mays to Frederick. Port Adelaide are away. Centre half forward towards Lord. Bursts through his hands. Now's a chance. Out the back to Lord again. Should kick the goal from here, the young fella. And he does not quite. He just chipped it, and it just like a little 9-iron got touched on the goal line. What a piece of play
you want to finish that, North, don't you? But yeah, you're right. Just didn't have enough on it. Great work by the Crows defender. A bit of desperation to get back and rush it over.
And here is Josh Worrell, who's been taking a lot of the kickouts today for the Crows. Margin now an even 4 goals. So Worrell is going to do what he's done a few times, just run straight out and straight down the corridor, looking for the big man there in Strawn, who couldn't take it. Newchurch ran into it quickly. We've seen this a few times today. Takes a bounce. Now handballs over the top. That was really well done. He might get it back here. No, instead the handball comes across. Now inside to Berry. He's got to beat a couple. He does. Fends off one, then throws it on the left boot. Up towards Thilthorpe, who's been excellent today. And he takes another mark. No, not paid. Still threw it on the right boot, and it hits the post. Through for one behind. Well, I thought he'd done enough to claim the mark. The umpire said play on, and he almost kicked it anyway. And the margin now back to 25 points.
How good was it? Don't argue from Sam Berry. I was going to say Tom Berry, but Sam Berry there, fantastic. I'm really loving watching his game today. Really tough inside mid.
So, what's happened here? The umpire says no. You just got to clear the space a little bit more. Very ticky touch with type umpiring there. He said Joel Garner was just too close by about 15 centimetres. So Leonard will just double back and go again. So takes his full distance, pumps it towards centre wing. A magnificent raking kick and a great mark there by Ollie Lord. Just stuck up the telescopic arm and dragged it in. He did. He's had some moments. Frederick draws a player over the top to Hayes. Hayes thinks it through, chips it into space, and did really well in the end for a big fella to find Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe goes short. The man in the orange boots there, that is Mead, son of course, the great Darren Mead for Port Adelaide, the inaugural best and fairest winner in 97 in the AFL. Ball pitches forward. Well done there by the Crows player who tries to push his way through, and he does. Handballs. Ball goes sort of wide. Corcoran tries to trap it for Port Adelaide. They're moving it forward, and Frederick takes a mark right on the 50-metre line. Too far out to score for Frederick, so he will have to assess his options, go short and finds Hayes. And according to you, Lee, Ruckman can't kick from there, so he's going to go wide and he's going to find Sutcliffe about 45 metres out.
Clearly listened to my advice, Norton, which is fantastic. He's given it off to the experienced Cam Sutcliffe, who's also gone short.
And finds a target and does well and finds Mead. So Mead will have a set shot from around about 35 metres out on a slight angle. Like I said, it's great to see. He's had a couple of soft tissue injuries last year. Didn't have a chance with COVID to play, obviously, in the SANFL last year. So really great to see this talented player in Jackson Mead. He's got a set shot from around about 35 metres out. Slight angle to draw Port Adelaide back within 3 goals. He's just pushed it to the right. And another minor score for Port Adelaide. So they move to 3-14-32. Adelaide 8-8-56. 4 minutes gone in this last quarter. All thanks to Balfours here from Albertson Oval.
And Hinge kicks it out there towards Himmelberg, who's unable to take the mark. The ball goes out of play.
Great score there from Joel Garner. I
was.
thought Himmelberg had that under control, but Garner at the last second came across and forced a boundary throw in.
Well, they've kicked the last couple goals of the game, the Power, and they're just having more of the general play at the moment. If they can get another 1 or 2 inside the next 10 minutes, there's still a chance to win this. I know there's nothing at the end of it, but always nice to win a game of footy as the ball comes back into play now. There's O'Connor. He's gone almost to 720. Had to be holding the ball. Finally it is. And young Burgoyne with the tackle. He'd be happy with that. He almost kicked a goal in the previous term. He's a bit too far out to score. Still a couple of kicks from home. He's about 70 from goal. He just pops it to the hot spot. Ball off hands now, looking for one of the crummers. Ball now comes out. No one able to take it. Montgomery was in there. Already kicked one today. Ball in dispute. Number of bodies around this. Umpire's just letting it go. Still no whistle. Eventually blows it and says, I'll ball it up about 25 metres around here from Port's goal. They trail by 24 points, 4.5 gone in this final term.
Look at that screen. Try and work your way through there, Tommy. Players everywhere. Schofield thought he might not have had it. Quick kick on the boot from Montgomery. Looking for his second goal, but he just missed it. And so Port Adelaide draw within 4 goals. It's a 23-point margin. The Crows 56, leading Port Adelaide 33. So Hinge brings it out of defence for the Crows. Ball spills over the top to Newchurch. Quick hands. He's quick as a flash. Ball, though, trapped there by the Crows player. Tackled there to the ground by Leonard. That Crows player was Lockie Gollant. And there will be a ball up. Centre wing in front of that magnificent Foss Williams grandstand. You can see the GFG fencing in the background. So Leonard trying to find his way through. Another good tackle. Tight. And Sam Rennie. No relation to you, Rennie?
No. Yeah, I haven't managed to call that name too often today, but good surname.
No, exactly right. Newchurch, geez, he's quick, sharp, handballs, spins out of trouble, spins into trouble. Frederick's got him, and umpire says, that's good enough for me, holding the ball. Good tackle by Marty Frederick. Yeah,
that was on Rennie as well, so well done by Frederick, who now plays on, kicks the ball up towards attacking 50, and a good mark and lead. He's taken, this is going to be right on the distance, though, you would have thought. And it's young Ben Edwards who's got it. He's been okay today. He's looking to give off the handball. He does now, and he gives it to Leonard, who we know is a thumping kick. Didn't get too much of a run at it, though. He still thumps it about 55 metres, right to the behind post. Ball fisted out of play, and we'll get a boundary throw in. 23 points the margin, 6 minutes gone in this final term. Port doing most of the attacking here, Lee.
Quick shout out, Ben Edwards, great season for Adelaide University last year. Tommy led the goal kicking in the Div 1 competition, so great to see him get an opportunity with Port today.
Yeah, that is really good. It's that kind of match, isn't it, where a few players get an opportunity. Now the ball comes out here. Mays just sold the dummy and then runs into the open goal. And he gets Port within touching distance now. 17 points, 6.5 gone in this final term. They're 25-minute quarters. And they've now got the last 3 of the game, and it's Mays, who's been busy today, who gets his first.
It's all one-way traffic right now, isn't it, Tommy and Norts? Like, just that pressure, I think, is really lifted. The Crows are struggling to sort of transition the ball out of defence, and when they do, their forwards aren't really getting a good look at it. So, what have we got, about 10, 15 minutes to go? So, closer to 18. So it'll be interesting to see if Port can string a few more together and make it a real interesting tight finish.
Only took you 3.5 quarters too to mention Adelaide University and et cetera, et cetera. What about the mighty Goodwood Saints?
I was just holding my, just holding on the Norts. Got to give myself something to talk about in the fourth. Yeah.
Okay. You know, Riley Thilthorpe was a junior at Goodwood Saints, so I'm just going to
very good.
Keep talking about that for the next.
No
Back at the centre bounce, Strawn's. Oh no, the umpire will recall that favoured the Crows ruckman in Strawn heavily there. So a quick recall, and the umpire should throw this up. So they reset. Strawn down. Good hands there by the Crows. They're going to snap that over the top of the shoulder. It's going to be very, very hard ball to mark by Garner, and he kept his eyes on the ball all the way. Well done there by Burgoyne. Burgoyne picks it up quickly. Nice little stab pass, and suddenly they're away through Moore. So Moore's got it. Chips wide towards that man.
Edwards.
And he's got it. Benny Edwards.
Oh, my man. Benny Edwards. What a mark that was, North. Adelaide University's finest.
Correct weight. 60 metres out. Goes in short. Port Adelaide with a really fully finishing running here. Sutcliffe had it spoiled away, though, and well done by the Crows, though, just to clear that space towards Thilthorpe. Well done there by Piscini. Brought the ball to ground and then rove his own ball. Kicks up a little 9-9. Pack of players emerge. There's a lot of scrappiness going on there. Woodcock tries to get the ball forward. The Crows player in Berry appeals for holding the ball. Good to see him back out there. He left in the third quarter with a leg injury. In goes Berry again. Jams it forward. It's a 2-on-1. What can Thilthorpe do here? Good spoil there by Piscini. And there'll be a boundary throw. Good contest there between the two youngsters. Thilthorpe from the Goodwood Saints and, of course, Piscini from WA.
And if you're just joining us, Benny Davis was tackled early in the second term, went down with what appeared to be an ankle injury. Nothing overly serious, but we haven't seen him since, so we'll try and get confirmation of that throughout the day. No other injuries to speak of. Riley Thilthorpe leading the way in terms on the scoreboard. He's got 4 goals. The Crows leading at the moment. He's been exceptional. Now, that was Schofield who picked it up. His kick, though, was cut off there, and it was Jack Lewis who took it. But the Crows now, they might be making a meal of this, and they do. Port have got an opportunity here to go forward, and they've got it. Now, and the player is Moore, who goes long and direct.
He's kicked it.
And I reckon he's kicked it.
Beautiful finish.
So Moore with his second goal. He kicked one late in the third term, and now he's got another. That's 4 in a row for Port, and they bring the margin back to 11 points. So a great goal on the run there from Ethan Moore. And Port Adelaide now, every opportunity. 9.5 minutes gone in this final term, and they've got all the momentum.
Really coming home with a wet sail, aren't they, Rennie? Really playing some good football now. That transition from defence to attack is looking sharp, and liking the work of their midfield, really getting their hands on the footy and giving their forwards lots of opportunities.
It's amazing, albeit a pre-season trial, when you get to the stage when it's midway through the last quarter and the game's up for grabs, how the energy levels and it just picks up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what level of footy you're playing.
You want to win. It's important habit to get in too, isn't it? You know,
It certainly is, absolutely.
So Ollie Lord now in the ruck for Port Adelaide. So he's just changed with Sam Hayes. So the umpire puts the ball down. Lord up against Strawn, who's rucked nearly exclusively all day for the Crows. Crows try and get it out. Handball back there by Berry. Now, they're in trouble here. Well done there, though. They just managed to get a handball free. Still Berry finds it. Strawn punches it forward for the Crows. Marshman tries to find the front spot. Newchurch has got it now. He'll tap in front. Now, Burgoyne and Newchurch are very similar players. Marshman, what can he do? Goes long towards the goal square. Well spoiled through there by Lena, one-on-one against Thilthorpe. But very similar players, aren't they? Newchurch and Burgoyne, the way they move, very, very similar from both clubs. But that was an opportunity there for Marshman. But
have you got a favourite there in Marshman? Is it the Marshmallow, the Martian, or which way are we going with that? He's a bit of a cult hero, I think.
Well, I think I'd rather not Marshmallow. I'd rather just go the Martian.
It was good, though, by Newchurch, wasn't it? Just clever to tap it to himself. He's done a couple of things today, and you mentioned Burgoyne. Just in this last 20 minutes or so has also done a couple of really exciting and skillful things. And we've said it a few times today, you're just looking for a couple of snippets from players, and I think we've seen a little bit from a few players today, listed players that have shown a little bit. As Schofield is in there for Port Adelaide, the ball now wrenched free out towards Strawn. Quick clearing kick towards attacking 50. Thilthorpe there with Piscini. Well done by Piscini. Good contest, and now he picks it up again. He'll be happy to see the boundary line here. Thilthorpe, though, great second and third effort. He goes back after the football as well. That was a great contest. Now the ball looks like it's going to spill out of play, or it might be a ball up. No, the umpire's paid holding the ball. So it'll be a free kick here to the Power, and another opportunity for them to rebound out of defence.
Joel Garner uses the ball well normally. Really tough player as well, really strong through the core. Finds Corcoran. So Port Adelaide just held up here at half-back. Corcoran going to go down centre wing in front of that Williams stand. Beautiful kick. Finds Mead. Now Mead's got acres and acres and acres in front of him. Has a second bounce. Runs now towards that 50-metre line. Kicks inside 50. Looks for Montgomery. Well sport by the Crows. Ball comes forward. Back towards Edwards. Edwards kicks it higher rather than longer. That's going to bring rain even though there's no clouds. Well done there by the Crows just to push the ball forward. And that ball will be taken over the boundary line there by the Port Adelaide player in Miller Carter. Boundary throw-in 30 metres around from the Port Adelaide goal, trailing by 12 points. A reminder, the senior game on shortly in around about an hour's time. Chris Dittmar and Will Goodings will bring you the blow-by-blow action of that game. Really looking forward to that. So boundary throw-in, down to Woodcock. Woodcock, quick hands. Moore handballs over the top. Moore and hope that anything. Woodcock gets it. Outside of the boot. I think he's kicked it. He has. And boy, Woodcock has had a wonderful day and now has put an exclamation mark next to his name with a goal, and Port Adelaide are back within 6 points. Let's check that scoreboard thanks to Balfours. Port Adelaide 6-15-51. The Crows 8-9-57 and game on, Lee.
When you've got the peroxide in the hair like Boyd Woodcock, you've got to pull off those sort of finishes in front of goal, don't you? That just lives up to that hairstyle. That was a beautiful finish. We saw him in the midfield. We have seen him for most of today, but I think he does his best work in the forward half. You can just see there. He just knows where the goals are. He can just create something out of nothing, and that was a beautiful goal to bring us back within 6 points.
Well, he's one player that could easily be playing in the second game, Lee, but he's dominated for large periods of today, and that's what he needs to do to push himself up into the coaching selection discussion with people like Ken Hinkley.
You look at the depth they have, Connor Rosio Fantasia's come across from Essendon, so there's lots of competition in that forward half.
So here we are back in the middle. Port Adelaide dominating this quarter, 3-0. Here's Frederick trying to get the ball free again. That was well done, though. Really well done. Now the kick goes long, up in towards attacking 50. Himmelberg, 1 grab, 2 grabs, 3. Couldn't quite get there. Fassini just did enough to spoil him, and that was nicely done.
Probably been a bit disappointing today, Himmelberg. Like we've obviously talked about Phil Thorpe and his 4 goals and setting teammates up, but Himmelberg just struggled to get into the game, really.
Boyle, it was the man who kicked it inside. Now, Edwards was unopposed there in the ruck, so just takes it out. That was smart play and a really courageous grab taken there by Moore. So he looks to get it on quickly, goes to Frederick, who takes a bounce, just stops for a moment, then gives off the football. Now the kick comes up towards the half-forward flank, and the mark is taken. And again, another opportunity here for Port to score.
Indeed, it is. Good transition football. So Port Adelaide with an opportunity through Williams to go deep inside 50. He goes as long as he can, lords the target, ball comes down. Trying to pat it forward is that Port Adelaide player I can't quite pick up. Burgoyne's in there. Crows player, look, Ginger in the background, getting to his feet now. And well done there by the Crows player in Ryan O'Connor. Brings the ball forward. Walton, quick hands, probably caught high. Umpire says play on. Phil Thorpe kicks it magnificently, and they're away through Hutchins. Hutchins goes long. Here's a real opportunity for my man Martian. What can he do? Just got to get a sit. Jams it onto the boot and misses. Oh, misses.
Goldsack just winds back the clock there and puts on a great tackle.
Good closing speed, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
He wanted it in the Port Adelaide. You could hear the roar.
Marshman's on a bit of a treadmill there, unfortunately, but great work by Goldsack.
He was. He had the handbrake on for a while there, big Marshman, but Goldsack got there and enacted a very, very good tackle. So Port Adelaide still trailing by 7 points. Goldsack goes long again, very direct. And a good mark there by Ben Edwards ever since Lee mentioned him. He's been
absolutely on fire, isn't he?
Absolutely on fire. So lean it, half back, long kick, looking for Wiedemann. Wiedemann flies, ball comes to the back of the pack. Plenty of time here now for the Crows, although he got closed down really quickly. Worrell's got that ball, kicks long towards centre wing. Big important mark here, and it's a strong mark taken there by the Crow player on centre wing in front of Corcoran. And so this is and 50. And 50. Did you see what happened there, Lee? I just dropped my eyes down. What happened there?
I think it was a bit of an encroachment through the protected zone there, Norts. I think one of his teammates, one of the Port players, might have run through the mark there.
So the Crows have kicked 2 goals already today from 50-metre penalties, one to Borlase and the other one to Thilthorpe. And they look set for another opportunity here. Really only 35, 40 metres out for the Crow player who's just leaning over the ball now, about to go on the runway. So this is an important kick. 17 minutes gone in this quarter. the Crows leading by 7 points. And, well, remember, it's a shortened quarter, only a 25-minute quarter. So a goal here would give the Crows a 2-goal-1 lead. And he puts it on its way, and it's hit the post. So he thumped it, that player there.
Lockie Gollan.
In Lockie Gollan, of course, the first goal scorer of the day, and he extends the Crows' lead by that single margin to 8 points now, 59 to 51.
Yeah, so 8 points the margin. There's about 7.5 minutes to go. Lean it. Wanted an option, but eventually took a bounce. Good corralling there from Thilthorpe. He now goes long, and just trying to get it out there with Schofield. The Crows, though, they're going to win it back or get a holding the ball. And it goes with the latter, so chance for them to just wax the clock a little bit. Kick in board there to Hinge. Didn't go the 15, so he's forced to play on. Kick was smothered, and it's going to work out okay for them. Now a long kick again inside 50.
Downfield.
Downfield, he was dumped after kicking it, so bit of afters going on here inside 50. You can see some push and shove. We've seen that a few times today. Nothing too much in it at the moment.
Gollan in there with Lena, just blowing up a bit of steam here at the moment, both teams.
And we've seen a few times it's going to be tough for the AFL coaches this season. The free kick here is going to go to Lockie Ryan.
Or Gollan's got it now.
Or Gollan now, so yeah, it looked like it was going to go to
Didn't
Ryan.
know he had it.
It's going to be Gollan. That encroachment rule, or the 50-metre rule, where the standing, you have to be a standing player, it's going to be enforced in the AFL, which has caused a lot of friction already, but in the SANFL,
it won't be.
It won't be. So that's going to be an adjustment the players are going to have to make.
Well, from Port and the Crows only.
Exactly. That's going to be difficult for them.
Because
if one week you're playing like a Boyd Woodcock playing in the SANFL, and then the next week you're in the AFL. Very different set of rules.
It is, and of course, that applies to a couple of other rules as well. The last touch out of bounds, and
yep.
You can't have the third man up, at AFL level, but you can at the SANFL level. So a little bit confusing.
So that's something the coaches will have to be across SANFL and AFL. Gollan now comes in. The kick's going to go right to the line, but might be rushed through, or Hayes takes a good grab on the second attempt. So Port just need to get it moving here. There's still time. They just need a couple of goals, but they're at the wrong end of the ground at the moment.
Yeah, just over 5 minutes left in this game, and Adelaide have led from go to woe all the way. Kicked the first goal of the game, and haven't looked back since then. But Port Adelaide closing fast. Ball centre wing. In there is Schofield wrapping up the Crow play. Umpire says that ain't going anywhere, and we'll have a ball up. You can see Sam Mays on the other side of the ground there in front of the GFG sign, looking to come back onto the ground. Newchurch charging on for the Crows as well in the back of picture. So Frederick, he hasn't got the football. Umpire says play on. Garner handballs in hope. Serene's going to get the football there for Port Adelaide, but chopped off really well there by the Crow player, who pushes it forward to a 2-on-2 here. Himmelberg, Piscini. What can Piscini do? Himmelberg gives it to Thilthorpe. Thilthorpe around the body. He hasn't, has he? No, he hasn't. He's missed it. And another minor score. So now the Crows squandering some opportunities going forward. They've ballooned out to 8-12-60. Port Adelaide 6-15. 51.
So still time, as we said, but they're going to have to get a wriggle on now. Probably need a goal from this next passage. Garner has it, and he's got a transfer play completely.
That's a great kick.
Fantastic kick. Just opens up the space, doesn't he, Lee? It's Piscini. Oh, he got caught. He wanted to go on the right boot, but had to go on the left, and he's turned it over. Crows now an opportunity. Piscini looking to make up for that error. Good pressure. Carter needs to get rid of it. Does so. Frederick in the middle of the ground. He also handballs off to Garner. He's buffeted as he kicks it, not holding the ball. Carter again gives off the handball to Mead, who's gotten better as the game's gone on. Goes down the guts. Ball inside 50, looking for Burgoyne. He picks it up really cleanly. Gets the handball away. He was tackled as he did so. Got it away just in time, though. Crows have got the numbers. Ball, though, spills out again. Getting it was Frederick. Snaps around the body. He's not coming back. Oh, what a kick.
Oh, no. It's
He's given it a point.
Oh, just gone over the goalpost. It looked good from our angle, but through for one behind. Margin.
Boy. That looked like it bent back beautifully, didn't it, boys?
It did.
Well, I know there's depth perception because you're not sure when it's cleared, that post, but
it was close.
Geez, looked like it might have snuck in.
8 points the margin. 3.5 minutes left to go in this game.
Sort of directing traffic. He'll go on that left foot, stabs it wide, looks for Berry. Berry. We throw in Berry or Goldsack.
Berry and Goldsack.
Goldsack's been okay too.
Yep.
But Berry's been very, very good. Probably the leading possession winner for the Adelaide Crows through the midfield. So boundary throw in. Really enjoyed your company today, Tommy Wren, Lee Gascon. There's 3 minutes left. Hope you've enjoyed it at home. 3 minutes left, 8 points. The margin. Boundary throw in. Hayes desperately trying to force it down. The Crows, though, will clear it and go long. Dangerous kick. Umpire hits the deck. He's gone down. It's all happening at the moment. Now, Leonard's got time. He should find some space, a little outside of the foot type kick, and that's sort of not going to work in this situation. It's a really good mark there from Lockie Ryan, which will hold it up for the Adelaide Football Club. So 2.5 minutes left. You think the Crows are going like winners at the moment. Goes short.
You can see some tight legs out there, Norts. The players just aren't pushing forward, the Crows guys who really need to get a move on here.
Correct. So Rennie had it and then just chipped it over the top there, and another strong mark for the Crows player in Ace Taylor. So he'll be in no hurry, Taylor. Garner dancing up and down on the one spot. Umpire calls play on, so you can go now. Garner, he pushes some pressure on. Himmelberg charges out. Leonard's with him every step of the way. Newchurch, be great to see some magic from him again. But that ball goes out of bounds. With only a couple of minutes left, it's the Crows looking like winners at the moment by 8 points.
Yeah, it's been exciting this last term. It's been good to see Port making a late rally, but the Crows have just steadied in the last 10 minutes or so. And they've got the ball at the right end for them. 50 metres out. 8 points in front, 25-minute quarters we've played, so only a couple of minutes to go. As again, good tap down there. I reckon it was Bassini in the ruck this time, and ball now towards the boundary line, and O'Connor happy to see it over.
We haven't seen, I've seen a little bit of O'Connor today, but just up close. He's a big midfielder, isn't he? Like, he's got a lot of size for him.
Impressive size about him.
Yeah.
Definitely. And he's been involved in a bit of push and shove as well, so not afraid to get involved, and that's going to be a free kick, I think, coming back to Strawn, who's also looked a bit better today, a bit stronger, and another 50-metre penalty.
Here we go. If the game wasn't over, now it certainly is.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of time off the clock, and we jinxed him before. Well, I didn't really give him much hope as a ruckman going for goal.
I think he's paid a double 50 here.
But I think
he's paid a double 50.
There might have been a bit of back chat there, Norts, I think. Some of the Port boys might have used a bit of the lip.
Or has he paid? No,
just
it's
the
only
one.
Only a 150. It looked like he was...
Maybe get some real estate off him.
Yeah, goodness me.
Big 50, isn't it? So this will be the sealer, but...
I'm going to back him in here from 15 out right.
It's been a good battle, hasn't it, Strawn and Hayes today?
I think it's been great. I reckon it's probably 50-50. I think they've both had their moments. Hayes probably gets him in the athleticism, but Strawn's worked really well around the ground and kicks the goal. And gets the finishing touch. So Strawn with his first, and the Crows will win this opening game, and they now lead by 14 points. And nice reward for effort there for Kieran Strawn after a long day in the ruck. We haven't seen Thilthorpe in there, but Strawn's carried it quite well, Lee. Yeah, Himmelberg, I think, did a little bit as well. But, yeah, Strawn's probably done 80 to 85%. Good for his, fitness, sort of get a big run under his belt, because he will be the primary backup to Riley O'Brien this year. So good to see him get a bit of a run. So Siren should go at any moment now. Crows leading by 14 points, 66 to 52 here at Albert. And there is the siren. And that wraps up a pretty good game of football to kickstart this Super Saturday here at Albertson Oval. Let's just check on that final score. And both sides relatively inaccurate at the end of the day. Adelaide 9-12-66. Port Adelaide 6-16-52. Well, I say relatively inaccurate. There was a lot of rush points, particularly for Port Adelaide in that first half. But a margin of 14 points. Great to see no serious injuries, boys. And obviously you look for some little glimpses of talent. I think we saw a lot of that today. Well, we'll just need to wait on Ben Davis and see what the result is there on his lower leg injury. But yeah, fingers crossed it's not too bad. But apart from that, I think we saw plenty of positives from both sides. Good to see the young players, what we haven't seen before, have a good crack. And obviously Riley Thilthorpe will be the main talking point out of that with 4 goals. I think that's a good point. We'll just go through those goal kickers for both sides. Thilthorpe with 4, then singles to Gollant, Borlace, Newchurch, Himmelberg, and also Strawn there at the end. While for Port Adelaide, Moore kicked a couple, and then singles to Williams, Montgomery, Mays, and also Woodcock, who was really solid today. But yeah, good signs for both clubs. I thought Wiedemann was excellent. Although he didn't kick a goal, he showed some really good signs for Port today. Burgoyne, and I thought Mead in that second half was excellent. Norts, he started to get some really good clean touches. Yeah, you're right. But Thilthorpe, I think, was definitely the story from a Crows perspective. Oh, absolutely. Rennie really took over. Was it the third quarter? I think he had a really big one. So, looked really strong. Obviously, thought Sam Berry was very good, especially in that first half, and then came back after the injury. Luke Pedler, Mitch Hinge did some nice things in his first game for the Crows. Borlays had a tough tough day, but I thought he stood up at times as well. And Tarek Newchurch, I thought, showed a bit in attack with his pace and
he's got some tricks.
He's got some tricks, absolutely. And then you look at Trent Burgoyne on the other side of Port Adelaide. So, look, some positives to take out for both clubs ahead of whatever they do next week.
So the Port Adelaide senior side just running onto the Albertson Oval now. So you'll see them come into shot very, very shortly. So not far away from a start for the main game. So stay with us. It's all thanks to our very good friends at Balfour's, and this is your only opportunity, of course, a lockout today from a spectator point of view due to the COVID protocols.
Yep.
So stay with us. It's a super sad day of football here at Albertson Oval as Port Adelaide take on the Crows in the senior game, the second game coming up very, very shortly with Chris Dittmar and also Will Gooding. So a break for a little while. A big thank you. This is Daniel Norton and Tom Wren, Lee Gaskin. Lee, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
Your insight, your knowledge, that's why they call you the Chief.
I think Jason Dunstall might have a bit of a say about that, Norts, but I appreciate the invitation to come down and watch this game today and commentate with great call by yourself and Tommy.
And Tommy, Melbourne Park to Albertson Oval. You've gone from the Australian Open broadcasting to 44 million people around the world to lifting it a notch and coming into Albertson Oval.
It's been great. I just love getting a look at the young players. You can see those just little signs and snippets from them, and I think there's a bit to like for both clubs today. But no, thanks, boys. I really appreciate you having me on, and I'm looking forward to the second game now. Should be another cracker, and we'll get another really good glimpse of what things have looked like over the summer and who's going to impress. And this is what it's all about. You've got hope at this time of the year from a football fan's perspective. So cannot wait for this next game.
Thank you very much, Tom Wren, Lee Gaskin and Daniel Norton signing off from this first game, the AFL selected game. Just recapping the final score. It was the Crows in the end. They led from go to woe, 9-12-67, defeated Port Adelaide 6-16-52, a margin of 14 points. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, thanks to our very good friends at Balfour's. Stay with us. The main game coming up shortly with Chris Dittmar and Will Goodings.